Fest over in Rising. It's a good one, we just have to go out and try, do everything we can to stop that running game. They do throw it better this year than they have in years past, and actually last year. The quarterback they have now is a junior. Of course, he was a sophomore last year and was their starter, and he hit some big passes on us. And so we've got to be aware of the passing game too. Especially, they try to lull you to sleep with that pass game, with that run game, and then all of a sudden it's play action over the top, and you look up and they're completing a 60-yard pass. I mean, it's just, you've got to play assignment football and be prepared to be physical all night long, because that's what type of football game it takes and what type of team and the way you've got to play in order to beat them.
Right before we let you go, Coach, give us your biggest keys to getting a victory when Harmony Grove travels over to Rising for the big conference 6-3A game.
Well, I mentioned it earlier. I think the key is going to be taking advantage of every possession, whether we have the football, limited possessions. We're going to have to take advantage of every time, and every time we have the ball and come away with points. And then defensively, we can't just let them hold on to the ball and get 3 or 4 yards to carry and look up and they've had the ball for 17 plays. So stressing the importance of every possession, and then coming out Friday and getting more possessions and getting some stops and taking advantage when we have the football. I think that's going to be the key.
Great comments from the head coach of the Harmony Grove Hornets, Ernie Horskamp. We're going to take another quick timeout, but when we return, we'll wrap things up with Class 2A on the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas High School Game Day Show.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas deliver reliable, affordable power to more than 60% of Arkansas, the field we call home. The 17 dedicated electrical cooperatives around the state manage over 75,000 miles of power lines, delivering power to more than 500,000 homes, farms, businesses, and of course, football fields, improving the lives of communities and their residents all across Arkansas. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, the power to play, the power to deliver.
I'm Rex Nelson. Outside of the state's natural beauty, the thing that strikes me most as I travel Arkansas is the junk in yards and trash along the highways. In a place that markets itself as the natural state, we've too often been guilty of, at best, ignoring our natural treasures, at worst, polluting and littering them. Let's take pride in our state by keeping it litter-free. Visit KeepArkansasBeautiful.com to get involved.
This message brought to you by this station, the Arkansas Broadcasters Association, and the Keep Arkansas Beautiful Commission.
Poultry is the leading agricultural industry in Arkansas, and the Poultry Federation is the voice to promote it. Did you know that the industry provides 170,000 jobs in our state? In fact, over 6,500 farms in Arkansas produce some type of poultry. And in 2020, the poultry industry provided $3.7 billion of the total agricultural cash receipts. From providing scholarships to protecting interest at the state capitol, the Poultry Federation is the proud voice of the poultry industry.
In the communities we serve, we know your energy is best spent on the things you enjoy. That's why we're helping you save your energy with natural gas. With twice the efficiency of electrical appliances, save your energy for taco night. Or singing in the shower with faster water heater recovery. Even for cozier comfort with gas dryers and fireplaces. All while doing a little more to save the planet. So save your energy and money with natural gas. And if you already are, keep saving with Summit Utilities. Learn more at summitutilities.com/benefits.
Joe Klein here for Bet Saracen, Arkansas's favorite sports betting app.
You bet it is, Joe. And football is in the air, which means Bet Saracen has everything you're looking for and more right there on your cell phone.
Now everyone can get in the game and follow your favorite team.
And that's right on the money. If putting down a little wager makes your favorite game a little more exciting, we'll go to the app stores and download Bet Saracen. We even got a demo video to show you how to play.
Or find it at betsaracen.com.
Simmons Bank, nominated by Forbes magazine as a top U.S. bank, takes great pride in investing in our friends and neighbors. For more than 100 years, we've worked to make our customers' dreams come true, earning trust with convenient and reliable financial tools, checking and savings accounts, home and consumer loans, small business loans, and low-rate credit cards. Wherever you are on your financial journey, we're there with you every step of the way. Simmons Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender, subject to credit approval.
I get scared sometimes.
Of a lot of things.
Joining in.
Decisions.
The dark.
The dark.
But I once heard someone say,
But as I always say,
it's okay to be afraid
as long as you face the fear.
and keep moving forward.
Wherever you are in life, count on the name trusted in insurance for more than 70 years. Arkansas Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Live fearless.
I am incredibly proud to be a physician here at St. Jude, to be in a place where I know my patients are going to get the top-notch care, not only care, but also research happening 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Every single person that contributes is a part of that St. Jude family that makes that happen. Because of everyone that is really committed to the mission of St. Jude, we're giving families hope.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Back on the Electric Cooperative of Arkansas High School Game Day Show, where in our final segment we'll look at Class 2A, where Rex's Road to the Rock rankings remain unchanged in this classification as well, as the Hazen Hornets are still number 1 after beating Baptist Prep 51-0. Mark Tree remains at number 2 after topping Earl 34-18. Carlisle is number 3 after beating Episcopal Collegiate 48-21, while Bigelow is still number 4 after a bye week, and Mount Ida stays at number 5 by beating Poyen 28-0. Some of the top games in Class 2A this week will see Mineral Springs at Dirks, Mark Tree at Desark, Cross County traveling to East Poinsett County, and England at Hazen, while Baptist Prep will visit Hampton and Bearden will travel to Little Rock Episcopal. So there you have it, folks. We hope you've enjoyed the Electric Cooperative's High School Game Day Show, and we hope you'll tune back in tonight at 10 p.m. Central for the Simmons Bank Friday Night High School Scoreboard Show. Rex Nelson and Nate Olson will take you all the way up to midnight with scores, interviews, and the all-new Rex's Road to the Rock rankings. Coaches, journalists, play-by-play guys, be sure to call in your scores at 501-298-BALL. That's 501-298-2255 so we can get every score in the state in tonight's Simmons Bank Friday Night High School Scoreboard Show. Today's broadcast has been brought to you by Simmons Bank, Centerpoint Energy and Summit Utilities, UAMS Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine, Arkansas Delta Byways Regional Tourism, the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, Hot Springs, Keep Arkansas Beautiful, Saracen Casino Resort and
Raider Road Trip to Home Sweet Home. Representing the freshman class is freshman maid Miranda Bishop. Miranda is the daughter of Leah Bishop. Tonight she is being escorted by her mother, Leah Bishop. Miranda said Raider pride is being knowing I'd rather be here than anywhere else. I'm proud to be a Raider. Raider pride is to love Nettleton unconditionally. Freshman maid, Majesty Thomas. Sophomore maid, Maya Hurston. Maya is the daughter of Ahmad Hurston and Latricia Wells. Senior class, senior maid Emma Prodzinski. Emma is the daughter of Lee and Laura Prodzinski. Today, Emma is being escorted. The maid of honor and the queen will be presented flowers and sashes by high school principal Mr. David Shipman. The homecoming queen will also be crowned by Nettleton High School principal Shipman. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's 2022 football homecoming maid of honor is Jakayla Wilson. And now this year's 2022 football homecoming queen, Jaden. Section.
Performers of the week, who did you give that honor to on the defensive side of the ball?
Well, we kind of took the same mindset. Defensive performers, Blake Brown led us in tackles. He had 12 total tackles, had a couple of tackles for loss. He was one of our outstanding performers. Jordan Pegram had 2 sacks, had a forced fumble there. And then Keon Stallings was our third outstanding performer on the defensive side.
Coach, let's talk special teams. Who were your special teams players of the week?
Right. We had 4 of those guys that we thought did outstanding on special teams. Number 1 was Joseph Newhung. He was 7 for 7 on his PATs. And then we had Caleb Tedder. He held all 7 of those extra points. He also had 2 tackles on kickoff coverage, gives great effort on whatever special teams he's on. We had Clark Phillips. He was the snapper for 5 of those. First time snapping in a varsity game. Did an outstanding job, and so he was 5 for 5 on his snaps. And then Nathaniel Gonzalez as well continues to give great effort on coverage. He's going to be, added to other special teams just because of the effort that he's given, the past couple weeks.
Coach, we got a big homecoming game at Raider Field tonight, and we welcome our old friends, the Paragould Rams, to Nettleton. Now, this is obviously a program that has taken their lumps of late, but they've got a brand new coach and seem to be an improving team. What's your thoughts on the Paragould Rams?
Well, kids play hard. They've got a system in place, whereas, in years past, they may have, kind of changed from week to week and really didn't set on one thing. That they've set on an offense of identity, and they've stuck with it up to this point in the season. Seem to be getting better week to week. And like I said, kids play hard. They've got a couple of guys on offense, one receiver and one back that, have pretty good speed and can do some things with the ball in their hands. So, we're going to have to come out and play hard, match their intensity, and just continue to do what we're doing. Like I told our guys, it's not a matter of who we play, it's how we play. And so if we play like the Raiders we know we can, we'll be in good shape.
Coach, this is week 6. Your team right now is 4-1. I know we would all rather be 5-0. We feel like we should be 5-0. We could be 5-0. But let's be honest, at the beginning of the season, given how tough our non-conference schedule was, if you would have been told back then that you'd be 4-1 right now, would you have taken it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, knowing all the question marks we had going into it, I probably would have taken that, We had a question at quarterback. We're starting a sophomore quarterback. You never know how those guys are going to respond, out there on a Friday night. We had question marks at other positions, and defensively, we're replacing our whole secondary. We got a guy back there that's leading the conference in interceptions now, a guy that didn't even play football last year. So, guys are stepping up, guys are making plays, and so I'm pleased with where we're at. But, yeah, going into it, there were a lot of unknowns, but I'm extremely pleased of where we're at right now.
Coach, I know you had a couple of injuries Friday night. How are those guys doing that went out of the game, and how is your team doing health-wise?
Well, we've got some bumps and bruises. I think Keandre Pope, he'll be good to go for the game Friday. Caden Newsom, he practiced, today. He was one that we really weren't sure. Had a little elbow, hyperextension there, and he had that checked out, and luckily, it's not as severe as what we had, thought it could have been. So he's going to be a game time decision. He may have to brace up in order to be able to play. But other than that, we're other than your normal bumps and bruises, we're in good shape.
Coach, let's talk keys to victory. We do this every week. What are the Raiders going to have to do tonight to move to 5-1 on the season?
Well, we need to get off to a fast start. Play with a lot of energy, just like we did last week. Our mindset's going to be the same. If we win the toss, we're going to want the football. Get our offense out there and get it rolling. Defensively, we cannot let them sustain, I call them, just time-consuming drives. They're going to want to try to milk it, slow the game down. So we got to be able to get them off the field, and get our offense back the ball as many times as possible, and then create some turnovers like we did. Give our, like right before half, that was a crucial play in the game that really kind of broke their back. Got the ball back, scored 2 touchdowns within just a matter of seconds, and so that's pretty demoralizing if you can do that. So if we can get some turnovers, play with great energy, I like our chances.
Let's go make it happen tonight, Coach. Good luck. Let's go get a win for Raider Nation.
Let's do it. Go Raiders.
Raider pride, brother.
Elite Eye Care has a new Jonesboro location that is now open at 2100 East Highland near the Old Indian Mall. Hey, it's Brandon Baxter, and the team at Elite Eye Care is who my family trusts for their personal eye care. Elite Eye Care specializes in eye care solutions for patients of all ages, and you can be assured that your family is cared for like their own. Schedule your appointment at EliteEyeCareandOptical.com or call 972-6040. Elite Eye Care at 2100 East Highland in Jonesboro and at 1515 West Kings Highway in Paragould. Elite Eye Care. Your vision is our focus.
A few years ago, a friend of mine was going to town to have lunch with the president of a college that he supported. He was stopped for speeding, and the trooper asked for his driver's license, and Jim said, "I don't have my driver's license. They're in my billfold at home." The trooper asked why his billfold was at home. He said, "I'm having lunch with the college president, and the last thing you want to take with you is your billfold." Best price, best service. Glenn Sane, and God bless our troops.
You raised your family here, did every July 4th here, refinished the floors here twice, sized up your daughter's boyfriends here, waited in the doorway all day when your son was coming home on leave. This place has given you all you've dreamed of, and now it's giving again in the form of a gourmet kitchen and the quietest dishwasher known to man. Realize your dream with a home equity line of credit from Simmons Bank. Dreams realized. SimmonsBank.com. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, subject to credit approval.
It's a mix and match special now at all Jonesboro area Domino's Pizza locations. Choose any 2 for $5.99 each for carryout or $6.99 each for delivery. How about a medium 2-topping pizza, oven-baked sandwich, pasta in a tin, Domino's stuffed cheesy bread, salad, bread twists, marble brownies, and so much more. Switch it up for lunch or dinner for the whole gang. The mix and match special with any 2 for only $5.99 each for carryout or $6.99 each for delivery. Only at your Jonesboro area Domino's Pizza locations.
Farmers and Merchants Bank announces the lobby of our new branch in Jonesboro is now open. The drive-thru is an MVP center with live video tellers 7 to 7 weekdays and 9 till noon on Saturdays. So in addition to our beautiful bank on Highland, you can also visit our new branch at the corner of Southwest Drive and Parker. More MVPs, more ATMs, more me banking at Farmers and Merchants Bank, member FDIC.
Kids grow up so fast, and so has the Arkansas Children's Hospital Jonesboro Clinic. This is our clinic's 10th year of creating healthier tomorrows for the kids in Northeast Arkansas. There's no need to cross the river or hit the highway for your cardiology or diabetes needs. Road trips are for fun, not for health care. The team at Arkansas Children's Hospital Jonesboro Clinic is celebrating by doing what we always do, giving your kids more time to be kids. Learn more at archildrens.org/Jonesboro.
We welcome you back to Raider Field. We're about to have the playing of the national anthem. I will not talk during it. Let's just listen to the Raider band play the national anthem. The Star Spangled Banner played by the Nettleton High School Band. Hopefully you could hear that. We have a brand new band bleachers section here at Raider Field. And it's a little bit further away from the press box than they used to be. So hopefully you were able to hear the Raider band, their beautiful rendition of our national anthem. We want to welcome you back to the First National Bank pregame show. We are just about 7 minutes away from kickoff. Congratulations to the Nettleton homecoming queen, Jaden Turner, and the maid of honor, Jakayla Wilson. It is homecoming at Nettleton, and very proud of those two young ladies who were elected by their peers in the Nettleton student body as the queen and the maid of honor. Again, queen Jaden Turner and maid of honor Jakayla Wilson. Tonight it's the Raiders versus the Paragould Rams. At this point in the pregame show, I always like to go over the Raiders' history against their opponents, and the Raiders indeed have a long history against the Paragould Rams. Well, against Paragould anyway, a history that spans 6 decades and 2 different Paragould mascots. The Raiders played Paragould for the first time back in 1979, back when they were the Bulldogs, not the Rams. And Nettleton won that game 22-0. They have played every year since except for 2 years, 1981 and 1982. For some reason, the Raiders did not play them those 2 seasons. But the Raiders have pretty much dominated the series. The Raiders are 29-14-1. There's one tie, 29-14-1 against Paragould, who are no longer known as the Bulldogs. They are the artists formerly known as the Bulldogs. They are known as the Rams now. They changed their mascot whenever they consolidated with Oak Grove, became Ridgecrest Rams, and since then they've gone back to calling themselves Paragould, but they did not go back to Bulldogs, which I thought was a classic mascot, classic nickname, but they just kept the Rams, and that's who they are. The Raiders' dominance over the Rams has been especially pronounced over the last decade. The Raiders have won 11 straight against Paragould, and none of those games have been close. The Raiders will try to run the winning streak to 12 over our neighbors from the north here tonight at homecoming. Tell you what, we will take a 1-minute break, and when we come back, we'll have the starting lineups and the kickoff. You've tuned in to Raider Football on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network. Back in 60.
Nettleton High School Athletics is brought to you by Gateway Tire and Service Center and Toyo Tires. Where there's always one thing you can count on, we go the distance for you. Before you hit the road for a trip across country or across town, drop by Gateway Tire and Service Center and check out the great deals on Toyo Tires. Whether it's tires or auto repair, you can always count on one thing. At Gateway Tire and Toyo Tires, we go the distance for you. At Gateway Tire in Paragould and Jonesboro, we go the distance for you.
A-State football and the Social Jonesboro are the perfect winning combination for game day. The Social has an amazing, delicious, fantastic, and tasty menu that goes perfect for pre or post game. Plus, the official Red Wolves away game watch party takes place at the Social. What we're saying is, it does not get any better than the Social on Red Wolves game day. The name says it all. Get social at the Social and get ready to howl with fellow A-State Red Wolves fans on every game day. The Social at Greensboro Village in Jonesboro.
And we welcome you back to the First National Bank pregame show, where we are 3 minutes and 40 seconds away from kickoff here at Nettleton. The Nettleton Raiders taking on the Paragould Rams tonight. The starters for the Raiders, Maddox Hampton starting at quarterback. What an incredible season the sophomore sensation Maddox Hampton has had. He is throwing the ball accurately, 65% completion rating, 1,001 yards, 13 touchdowns opposed to 1 interception. So very good season so far by the Mad Dog. Joining him in the backfield is Keandre Pope. Keandre got banged up a little bit last week as he was thrown to the turf and hit his head on the turf. He's gone through the concussion protocol. He should be good to go tonight. So the Pope back in the backfield. Curtis Smith, the playmaker, he is starting at wide receiver. You'll see him in the backfield at quarterback, and he will run the ball, he'll catch the ball, he'll pass the ball. But the playmaker is starting at wide receiver, 15 touchdowns on the year, 952 total yards of offense. As you can see, the coin toss, if you're watching on our YouTube channel, Caleb Andrews is doing a good job out there running the camera, and he is getting you right in the coin tossing huddle out there. Nettleton has won the toss, and they will receive. Paragould has won the toss, and they have elected to receive. And so Nettleton will be kicking off, and they'll get the ball in the third quarter. I think I was at Curtis Smith. The other wide receivers, Braylon King and Q Thompson, Caleb Tedder, the tight end. Q Thompson is actually the leading receiver on the team. He leads in receptions with 28, yards receiving with 524, touchdowns with 8. I do have to say a big apology to Q. I made a mistake a couple of weeks ago in the Batesville game. I credited another receiver for a touchdown that Q caught. I'm very sorry about that mistake. Q is the leading receiver in touchdowns with 8, yards receiving with 524, and 28 receptions. What a season the very talented Q Thompson is having. The offensive line, the unsung heroes of this team. We'll start at left tackle, Kylan Gates. Left guard, Ian Landrum. The center is Zach Davis. Right guard is Kobe Miller, and the right tackle is Garrett Campbell. It is homecoming here at Nettleton, and it's good to see a lot of the alumni here. I saw Ryan Crawford. He was starting offensive lineman for the Raiders last year. Center is where he wound up being. Just an outstanding guy and a great lineman. Good to see Crawford. The starters for the defense. We'll start on the defensive line. Defensive end, Jordan Pegram. Here come the Raiders. The Raiders are making their way. That's a good shot of the Raiders running right at the camera. Good job by our cameraman, Caleb Andrews, getting that shot. But Jordan Pegram, 28 tackles on the season, 8 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, leads the team in sacks, leads the team in tackles for loss. Cam Phillips joining him on the defensive line, along with Caden Newsom and Keon Stallings. The linebackers, Blake Brown, who leads the team with 56 tackles. Kylan Shelton starts at nickelback. The other linebacker is Cohen Liggins. Defensive secondary, the cornerbacks, Brandon Alexander, Derek Island, a.k.a. the Junebug. They are the starters at cornerback. And the starters at safety is Jamie Morris, who has 24 tackles on the season, one of them for a loss. That's awfully good. Safety getting a tackle for a loss. They call him the carpenter because he will indeed lay the wood. Miles Williams is the other safety. He leads the 5A East with 4 interceptions on the year. We are ready to get this thing started. Raider Field bumping here tonight. Great crowd of Nettleton alumni and fans and family. Good crowd from Paragould as well, as the Rams have a couple of guys back deep ready to receive the kickoff from number 11, Antonio Alvarez. Number 2 is Caleb Giles, and I believe that's 23, Corbin Bailey, back deep for the Rams. Nettleton wearing pink socks with their black uniforms, black and gold. They'll be moving left to right on your radio dial. Antonio booms it. It sits up and is fielded inside the 5 by number 23, and he is tackled by Kylan Shelton at the 20-yard line. Returning the ball was Corbin Bailey for Paragould. He got about 15 yards on that before he was brought down by Kylan Shelton. Kylan Shelton, he's a nickelback, but he also played some at running back last week. And he made a fantastic cut and put his foot down, and next thing you know, he was scooting to the end zone. Great football player, Kylan Shelton, and the Raider defense is going to be taking the field first. Nettleton will be going in with a 4-man front. Paragould's quarterback is number 6, it's Calhoun, Caden Calhoun. A couple of running backs in the backfield with him. Gives to the fullback dive. Boy, he's hit immediately by Blake Brown. Blake Brown on the tackle, and that is Caden Calhoun on the carry. I said he was a quarterback. I think I misspoke. We'll get this figured out here soon. Yeah, it is actually number 14 is the quarterback. That is Carter Ballou. Carter Ballou, the quarterback. Ballou tosses to Calhoun. Calhoun running right side. He is met in the backfield, first of all by Blake Brown, and then a host of black jerseys. It's a big loss on the play. It's going to bring up 3rd down and long for Paragould. Looks like about 3rd down and 13. Good tackle there by Blake Brown.
Yeah, and it's good to see both of the Nasty Boys getting in there for that tackle. Great tackle for a loss by Blake Brown.
3rd down and 13 is the situation for Paragould. Great atmosphere for high school football here tonight. A nice night, a little bit hazy with the burnt fields, but it is clear, nothing falling out of the sky. Paragould going from the shotgun. They're dropping back to pass. Carter Ballou deep down the right sideline and incomplete, intended for number 88. That is Michael. Eskander Michael. And it brings up 4th down and 13. Good coverage by the Raider defensive secondary.
That was great coverage. There was no man open by that cornerback. B3, Brandon Alexander, got there. Just great coverage.
So Paragould sends their punting unit out. Looks like the Carter Ballou may be a little bit shaken up. He's walking out between a couple of trainers. The Paragould punter is standing at about the 5-yard line, and back deep to receive for the Raiders is the playmaker, Cortez Smith. It's a low punt. Lands, and Cortez fields it, fumbles it. Paragould recovers it. So Paragould with a break there. Cortez, the ball was rolling toward Cortez. He tried to field it like a shortstop would field a grounder, was unable to corral it, and Rams were there very opportunistically to recover the fumble, and that is the first bad break for the Raiders tonight. The defense got a 3-and-out. And special teams has been a problem for us at times this year, Jacob. Let's see if the Raider defense can make another big stand here. Another 3-and-out would be nice.
Yes, it would. And knowing that defensive front we're bringing, I think we might see one.
So Paragould will have the ball, 1st and 10 on the Raider 41-yard line. I have a different quarterback out there now, and I'll get you his name as soon as I can get his number. It's number 2. He gives to number 6. Calhoun fights for some positive yardage, about a gain of 1. It's going to be 2nd down and 9. Ball on the Raider 40-yard line. Pegram made the stop for the Raiders on the far sideline. And that is Giles, Caleb Giles, the quarterback for Paragould. He gives to the fullback, Calhoun, and he is met by Keon Stallings at the line of scrimmage. He falls forward for a couple of yards. It's going to be 3rd down and 7.
And this defensive front is just working this offensive line right now.
Well, that's where the football games are won or lost, right there in the trenches, the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 7. Sound system comes alive with the air horns, and it's quarterback sneak right up the middle trying to get the 1st down. He gets some good positive yards. It's a gain of about 3. It's going to be short of the 1st down. It's going to be 4th down and about 3 from the Nettleton 35-yard line. I would sure think that this would be 4-down territory. I don't think they'll be punting from the 35-yard line, but we shall see. Chain gang has yet to move. Now they're moving. And the reason they have not moved is because there was a penalty on the field. Did not see it. Maybe it's because it's a pink flag. I'm not used to seeing pink flags being flown around. Usually they are bright yellow. So it's going to be 4th down and 4 for Paragould. It was a penalty, a motion penalty against the Rams. It was declined. So it's 4th down and 4. Paragould indeed going for it. Hard count. Gives to the tailback, and he stops short of the 1st down. He is stopped short of the 1st down. Cohen Liggins in on the stop. Jordan Pegram as well. And the murder man, Cam Phillips. Good stop by the Raider defense, and they're not going to be able to punt it this time and catch any types of breaks. It's a turnover on downs. 1st and 10 Raiders at their own 34-yard line.
And that was great work by our Raider defense. 2 great stops, a 3-and-out, and then a 4-and-out. Good job, Raider defense.
And now the Raider offense on the field. The Mad Dog, Maddox Hampton, in the backfield in the gun. He's dropping back to pass on 1st down. Throwing down, deep downfield. He's got the playmaker who hauls it in at the 20-yard line. Great throw and a tremendous catch by Cortez Smith. He's brought down at the 20. Big-time play on 1st down, the Raiders' first offensive play of the series, but there is a flag on the play. Illegal receiver downfield against the Raiders, so that will negate that big-time play, and it's going to be a replay of the down with the ball starting beyond the sticks. That is, I believe, a 10-yard penalty. That's a 5-yard penalty, so it's going to be replay of down, 5-yard penalty, which actually is about like a 50-yard penalty because it negated a big-time pass from the Mad Dog. So 1st and 15 for the Raiders. The Mad Dog in the backfield. Pope back there with him. Cortez, the playmaker, spread out to the right. Nettleton moving left to right on your radio dial. Q Thompson spread out wide to the left. They give to Keandre Pope. He is hit in the backfield and bulls his way forward for a gain of a couple. It's going to be a gain of 3, actually. It will be 2nd down and 12 for Nettleton.
And Keandre Pope has been running physical all year, and you see that there. He gets yards after being hit. Great run by Keandre Pope.
Gain of 4, actually. 2nd down and 11. Cortez Smith. So you do not see Cortez out there right now. Yeah, now I do. He's spread out far to the left. He's always easy to see because he's got pink on. Well, tonight everybody's got pink on. It's October. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and the Raiders doing their part to bring awareness to that awful disease. Pass is complete to Q Thompson. Q Thompson zagging is about 3 yards short of a 1st down. It's going to be 3rd down and 3 after the about a 8-yard gain. Mad Dog Hampton to Q Thompson. It's going to be 3rd down and 3.
And Q Thompson put on a couple of dance moves there, broke a couple of defenders' ankles, and great reception by Q Thompson.
Q's getting a jump start on the homecoming dance. 3rd down and 3. Cortez Smith, the quarterback from the gun. Cortez is going to run it. He's hit in the backfield, and he's going to be stopped short of the 1st down. No gain on the play. Good job by that Paragould the right side of the Paragould defensive line. They got very good penetration. It's going to be 4th down and 3. And let's see if Nettleton wants to punt or if they're going to go for it. It looks like they're bringing out the punting team. So Paragould, who's coming in a very heavy underdog, but so far they are showing that they're here to play tonight. Offense has not been able to do much, but they caught a big break on a special teams play, a punt that was fumbled by the Raiders, and they just stopped the Raiders' offense. Had help from a penalty, but still. The Mad Dog punts a high punt, bounces at the 40-yard line. Boy, it takes a Paragould bounce. They tried to pick it up. My goodness, that was not smart football there. I'm sure Coach Gunn's going to have a talk with that young man. But good field position. It bounced about 7 yards the wrong direction if you're a Nettleton Raider fan. So it's going to be 1st and 10 Paragould from their own 47-yard line. And, Jacob, so far, I'd say the Raiders are looking a little bit flat tonight.
We are. A big penalty drained our first drive, and just not the type of all we usually play here at Nettleton Field.
You're right. That penalty was a killer. Paragould back to work. Their starting quarterback, Carter Ballou, back out under center. He passes, and it's going to be a halfback pass. Passing deep, it is negated by the Junebug, Derek Island. So the pass is incomplete. And I do not see a flag. Yeah, no flag. The flag is a little different color tonight, so it's kind of throwing me for a little bit of a loop. Good defense there by the Junebug. It's 2nd down and 10.
And Derek really put that receiver on an island there, and just great defense by Junebug, Derek Island.
I see what you did there. Well played. 2nd down and 10. 6:10 remaining in the first quarter. We're scoreless here at Raider Field. Carter Ballou gives to the fullback, bulls his way up the middle across half field, a gain of a couple of 3 yards. It's going to be 3rd down and 7 for the Rams. Paragould hurriedly to the line of scrimmage. They give it to number 6, and he is caught by number 90 in the backfield doing damage. That's Jordan Pegram. Jordan caught him behind the line of scrimmage, but he fell forward and got back to the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 4th down and 7, and Paragould will be sending their punting unit out now with 5:34 remaining in the first quarter in a scoreless game. So the Raider offense, let me rephrase it. Let me back up a little bit. If we don't have anything crazy happening here on this punt, the Raider offense will have another shot at it. Nettleton bringing a heavy rush. They got 10 men on the line of scrimmage. Cortez Smith back deep. Good punt. Cortez gets completely out of the way. He says, get away from that thing. I got burned last time. It ain't going to happen again. Ball rolls out of bounds at about the 13-yard line of the Raiders. Very good punt. Correction, 18-yard line. 18-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Raider offensive unit on the field. Paragould wearing all white with a red helmet. Nettleton here on homecoming wearing the classic all black look with gold helmets. Offensive line looking good. Kylan Gates, Zach Davis, Ian Landrum, Kobe Miller, and Soupy, Garrett Campbell. Mad Dog gives it to the Pope. Pope running left side, and he is slung forward after a gain of about 7, and it's going to be 2nd down and 3 for the Raiders.
And we see a great run by Keandre Pope and a great blocking scheme there by that left side of that offensive line. Kylan Gates and Ian Landrum did a good job. They blocked their butts off there.
2nd down and 2, Buddy Nichols says. I always go with what Buddy says. Gives to the Pope, running right side this time, and I believe he's got the 1st down. He's tackled after a gain of maybe 4. The line judge on the far side, Eddie Price, says, oh, yeah, that's plenty of yardage for a 1st down. And so they move the chains. 1st down at Nettleton.
And a phenomenal run by Keandre Pope. He runs very physical, and he's doing it again there.
Now then, Mad Dog is in an empty backfield. 4 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. That one is the playmaker, Cortez Smith. 1st and 10 for the Raiders at their own 29-yard line. We're scoreless here in the first quarter. The Mad Dog drops straight back, looking for the playmaker.
the playmaker catches it at the 40-yard line, shucks a tackler. He is waltzing into the end zone. Touchdown Raiders after a 71-yard touchdown strike from Mad Dog Hampton to Cortez Smith.
And what a grab by Cortez Smith. A defender on him, hauls it down, gets the defender off him, and just walks right into the end zone. Touchdown Maddox, touchdown Cortez, touchdown Raiders. Raiders strike first, 6-0 with 3:56 left on the clock.
Nettleton with a swinging gate formation for the point after kick. Joseph Newhung and Caleb Tedder, the holder. Those guys did a great job last week. Clark Phillips, I believe, is the deep snapper on the PAT. The kick is up, and Joseph Newhung has made 8 straight PATs with 3:56 remaining in the first quarter. The score is now Nettleton 7 and Paragould 0. Back in 30 with more Raider football on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network.
This is Keith Baird with Baird Auto Group. There's nothing that brings our communities together like high school sports. No matter what the scoreboard says, it's a winning feeling just to be a part of it. At Baird, we want you to have the feeling anytime you come into one of our dealerships. Good credit, bad credit, no no problem. Don't buy anywhere else until you shop at Baird location near you. Don't get a bad deal, get a Baird deal. Because why pay more?
Saving service, great selection too. Baird does it all for you.
Nettleton with a 7-0 lead after a 71-yard touchdown pass from the Mad Dog, Maddox Hampton, to the playmaker, Cortez Smith. Those guys are fun to watch, Jacob.
They sure are, because you always know there will be a touchdown.
They always got that big strike capability for sure. Back deep for Paragould is Caleb Giles and Bailey, Corbin Bailey. Bailey is going to receive the ball at the 10-yard line, fumbles it, picks it back up, gets it across the 20 to the 25, and then he's brought down by Miles Williams and Cohen Liggins. Cohen Liggins leading the tackle. So Paragould will take over 1st and 10 from their own 27-yard line. 3:48 remaining in the first quarter. Sure glad to have everybody joining us on this homecoming night. And there is the referees, the line judge and the referee, that's Eddie Hillis. They're having a discussion out there. I guess there was a flag thrown that I must have missed. It's going to be a personal foul, and it's going to be against the Raiders. Personal foul also against Paragould. Those are the offsetting penalties. So I guess Eddie must have saw some extracurricular activity that was not very sportsmanlike on both teams, and so he's over having a talk with Coach David Gunn on the Paragould side, and the referees letting the coaches know what type of malfeasance that actually, I guess it was actually against Paragould. It was against Paragould. Originally, he pointed toward Nettleton, but he must just had his directions wrong, because he pointed toward Paragould, and they brought it 15 yards back. So Paragould starting 1st and 10 from about their own 14-yard line. Give to the fullback, nothing doing up the middle. Nettleton, Jamarcus Johnson and Blake Brown on the stop. Gain of maybe a yard and a half. We'll call it 2nd down and 8.
And Blake Brown's a fun linebacker to watch as he gets big stops like that.
Quarterback dropping back to pass. Now he's going to pick it up and run it. And, boy, he is hit hard. Blake Brown just laid the wood on him. So you got to give Carter Ballou credit. He's a tough kid. He got right up after that shot from Blake Brown. Actually gained a yard or two, so it's going to be 3rd down and 6. Ball on the rim, 18-yard line.
I think Blake Brown might have hit the construction sites with Jamie Morris last week.
Those guys definitely can lay the lumber out there. Carter Blue, the quarterback, he's in the shotgun formation now. He's got two running backs on either side of him. He's going to pass in the flats. It is complete, but immediately tackled out there by Kylan Shelton. Kylan Shelton is a good football player. No gain on the play, maybe even a little bit of a loss, and it's going to bring up 4th down and 6 for Paragould, and they once again bring their punting unit on. Man, Kylan Shelton with a good open field tackle.
And Kylan Shelton shows his high football IQ there, and just what a stop by Kylan Shelton.
So the playmaker, Curtis Smith, stands on the beautiful Oval Inn logo here at Raider Field on homecoming night. The moon is full. The stands are full. Magic in the air. Jaden Turner, the homecoming queen. Jakayla Playa-Hada. Jakayla Wilson, the maid of honor. The snap is good. The punt is away. And, boy, it's a high punt. Fair catch called by Curtis Smith, and he hauls it in just inside Nettleton Raider territory. It's going to be 1st and 10 Raiders at their own 48-yard line. And glad that Curtis able to hang on to that one. Had a little miscue earlier and trying to field a ground ball on a really hard punt. And that was a turnover that Paragould took advantage of. They weren't able to get any points out of it, but 7-0 the score. Nettleton with a 7-0 lead. The Raider offense back to work. Maddox Hampton drops back. He's going deep once again. He's got the playmaker open, but Q Thompson got Q Thompson open, but he overthrows him just by a couple of 3 yards, and it's going to be 2nd down and 10.
And he just had a little too much action on that throw there, Mr. Miller.
Yeah, Q had his man beat and just overthrown. I've been very impressed all season long by the Mad Dog's accuracy on those types of throws. And you got Q Thompson, you got the playmaker Curtis Smith. He's got a couple of outstanding deep weapons to throw the ball to. Braylon King lined up on the left side with Q Thompson. Tedder and Curtis Smith on the right side. The Pope in the backfield with him. He gives to the Pope. Pope runs right into a Paragould defender. That is Garen McDaniel, who throws Pope down for a loss. It's going to be a loss of about 3. So it'll bring up 3rd down and 13 for the Raiders. Guess the Pope just didn't see him because he would run right into him. 3rd down and 13. Mad Dog in an empty backfield. 4 receivers spread out wide to the left. The playmaker, Curtis Smith, spread out to the right as the Raiders moving left to right on your radio dial. The Mad Dog in the gun. Paragould, 4 men on the defensive line. Mad Dog is going to pass. Now he's running it. He tucks it. He's across the 50, across the 45. The 40 lowers his shoulder, and he gets the 1st down. Good run by the Mad Dog, and I don't know if that was a design play or if the Mad Dog just saw some green real estate. In any event, he got the 1st down.
And that was a great run by Maddox Hampton. He turned on the Jets for that one, gave his best Cameron Scarlett impression. What a run by Maddox Hampton.
The Mad Dog gives the Raiders a 1st down. 1st and 10 Raiders inside the 40-yard line of the Rams at the 38. Mad Dog dropping straight back. He's going to pass. He's going deep. He's going toward the end zone. It's a touchdown. Woo! Mercy Daddy. Curtis Smith hauls it in the end zone. And for the 2nd time tonight, Maddox Hampton finds Curtis Smith in the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders.
And what a pass by Maddox Hampton. Found the back corner of the end zone. Found the back shoulder of Curtis Smith. Curtis hauls it in. Touchdown, Maddox Hampton. Touchdown, Curtis Smith. And touchdown, Nettleton Raiders. It's 13-0 with 38.7 seconds left on the clock.
And Nettleton's PAT unit out on the field. Joseph Newhung, the man who is bad to the bone. His kick is up and good. A good hold there by Tedder. And the Raiders have a 14-0 lead with 38 seconds remaining in the 1st quarter here at homecoming at Nettleton. We'll take a 30-second break. When we come back, we'll have more Raider football for you on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network.
For me, rice farming isn't a profession. It's been my life for more than 30 years. And as owner of Delaplane Seed, I've been the region's Rice Tech leader for more than a decade. Every planting season, I'm in the fields right along with you, and we're figuring out how to make sure bushels mean dollars together. From selecting your hybrid rice to free on-farm delivery and one-on-one consultation, I'd like to help your rice field see more profit this season. I'm Terry Gray at Delaplane Seed. Call me today at 870-249-3447. Let's talk about your best rice options.
Maddox Sampton, 2 touchdown passes tonight, both of them to the playmaker, and both of them are Domino's Pizza delivery of the game. Man, a great night for Raider football, but you can make game night better by ordering Domino's Pizza online at Domino's.com or from the Domino's app. Domino's Pizza, a proud sponsor of Raider football. They bring you the Domino's delivery of the game. So did the Mad Dog. So did the Playmaker. And the Raiders with a 14-0 lead here with 38 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Antonio Alvarez on to kick off. Nettleton has a couple of kickers. Joseph Newhung is the field goal kicker. Antonio Alvarez, he kicks off. Both of those guys are on the Nettleton soccer team. And ball falls off the tee. It is a little bit windy out there. Cold front is moving through. 71 degrees, though, and clear. Just a little bit of a nip in the air as that wind is kicking up out of the north. It's a good night for high school football. It's good high school football weather out there. And actually, they're just going to have to hold the ball. Tedder is holding it like he would a field goal. And Alvarez booms it, fielded inside the 10-yard line. And here come the Rams. Number 23, he spins his way to the 30. That is Corbin Bailey on the return. And it's going to be 1st and 10 Rams, starting right about their own 31-yard line.
1st and 10, Paragould.
Make sure and hang around for the halftime show. The halftime show is brought to you by Kavanaugh Auto Groups. To see their full inventory from the comfort of your home, just log on to KavanaughCars.com. And we'll have Lori Williams. It's homecoming. Lori is from the class of 1982. They're having their 40-year reunion here tonight. And me and Miss Lori are going to have ourselves a little debate on what's the best class ever, the class of 89 or the class of 82. Jacob, I know you agree with me. 89 all the way.
I don't know, Mr. Miller. 22 is definitely up there.
And let's not be silly. 1st and 10 Rams, and the quarterback is going to pass. He is intercepted, but out of bounds. I believe that was actually obviously incomplete pass, but I thought the Junebug hauled that in. Out of bounds, obviously, but it's an incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10. Good coverage by Jamie Morris and the Junebug, Derek Allen Jr.
And we've seen a lot of great coverage from our secondary tonight, and they just keep doing it.
2nd down and 10. They got a good coach teaching them how to cover like that, Coach Alan Johnson. They give to the running back. He's got a little bit of room, and he's actually good shoestring tackle there by the Carpenter, Jamie Morris. He wrapped him up after a gain of 1. He falls forward. Another yard is gained. It's going to be 3rd down and 8 for Paragould. Ball is on the Ram 33-yard line.
And Jamie Morris just held on to his ankle and just hoped he was coming down.
Good tackle by Jamie. That's the end of the first quarter. We'll take a 60-second break. We'll have the second quarter when we come back. It's 14-0 Nettleton here at Raider Homecoming. Back in 60 with more Raider football on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network.
Tired of slow internet? Feel like you're stuck in the old days? It's time to catch up with Empower, delivered by Craighead Electric. Thanks to Empower, you don't have to wait for high-speed internet. Our new cutting-edge technology makes our services more reliable and faster than the competition. Call 870-336-0999 to check internet availability in your area. That's 870-336-0999. Empower, high-speed internet for your neck of the woods.
We won't be beat. Plaza Tire Service is the low price leader on tires. And if you do manage to find a lower price on a comparable tire, we'll match it with our low price pledge. Stretch your dollars with outstanding deals from Plaza Tire Service on tires for your car, van, truck, crossover, SUV, and more. Plaza Tire Service has a huge selection of tires in stock and ready to install today. Plus, get 6 months deferred interest on purchases of $149 or more with your Plaza Tire Service card. For the best deal on tires, see Plaza Tire Service.
And we welcome you back to Raider Field, where Nettleton has a 14-0 lead over Paragould at the start of the second quarter. Paragould dropping back to pass on 3rd down and 8. Ballou's pass is incomplete. And that's Brandon Alexander with an outstanding defensive play, knocking the ball away from the Ram receiver, Michael. Last name, Michael. Not going to lie to you, I can't read that first name. Iskander, does that look right?
I think so.
Iskander Michael. So it's going to be 4th down and 8. My apologies to the Michael family and all the fans at Paragould. It's just that it's kind of dark in here, and my eyes are not very good, and had a little bit of trouble reading that first name. 4th down and 7. That's why I got young Jacob Linderman to help me out. The punt is away, and it's over the head of the playmaker. He tells everybody to get out of the way, and the ball rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling, just like Kid Rock, rolls all the way down to the 15-yard line, and that's where Paragould will take over 1st and 10. Excuse me, that's where Nettleton will take over 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 Raiders on their own 15. I'll tell you this, Paragould, they've struggled this year. They do have one win over Piggott. They've been shut out every other single game, been beaten soundly, but they do have a very good punter. He does a great job.
He just laid down a perfect punt there.
So the Raiders back to work. The Mad Dog, Maddox Sampton. In the backfield with him is Teddy and the Pope. Gives to the Pope. Pope's got some running room. Right side. He's got the 1st down. It's shoved down from behind, and he's marked down at the Raider 38-yard line. That's a gain of about 23 yards. Good run by the Pope.
That was a really good run by Pope. He just broke loose, broke a couple ankles, broke a couple tackles. What a run by Keandre Pope.
Love it. Maddox Sampton in an empty backfield. 4 receivers to his left, and that is A.D. Burnett to the right. He's got the playmaker and Q Thompson spread out wide left. If you're a defensive coordinator, that's a nightmare, trying to guard both those guys. Maddox is going to run it. Be careful over there, Mad Dog. He has a gain of about 3 before he's brought down. Gain of, we'll call it 3. 2nd down and 7, maybe 2nd down and 6. Makes me a little bit nervous to see the Mad Dog running the ball like that. He does a good job running it, but hate to see him take a shot and get hurt.
And Nettleton quarterbacks have a tradition of scrambling out of the pocket, though.
The Mad Dog has so far found most of his success as a pocket passer. Boy, he is accurate. Gives it to the Pope. Pope bounces out right side, trying to find the edge. He does so, has the 1st down. He's dashing down the sidelines, and then he makes a business decision to step out right about the 37-yard line. Another outstanding run by Keandre Pope.
And Keandre Pope shows that speed to get outside. I think
sure did.
He shows a 4.4 on record. What a run by Keandre Pope.
Yeah, I'm going to have to challenge that. I don't think he runs a 4.4, but he did. 4.4 is major college speed, but he did turn on the jets right there and got the 1st down. Paragould decides to take a timeout after that big run by the Pope. 1st and 10 Raiders on the 37-yard line of the Rams. It's 14-0 with 10:32 remaining in the second quarter. We will take a 30-second break. Back with more Raider football on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network after this break. 30-second break and more Raider football coming up.
Have you had to pay for costly repairs to your AC unit all summer long? More Air Conditioning will give you a trade-in value or buy back a recent repair up to $1,000. Plus, we have financing available and lifetime replacement warranties on new systems. But hurry before the new government regulations take effect. Call More Air Conditioning today, a Google-guaranteed company at 870-336-2023, or visit us at moreac.com.
You deserve more. Don't settle for less.
And we welcome you back to Raider Field. It's homecoming at Nettleton. A happy homecoming so far if you are a Nettleton Raider. 14-0 the score, 10:32 remaining in the second quarter. Festive atmosphere. The class of 87 is here. The class of 82 is here. We're going to have a member of the class of 82 as our special guest on the halftime show coming up in about 15-20 minutes or so. 10:32 on the clock. Nettleton up 14-0. Maddox Sampton's going to pass. I saw a flag thrown, and the pass is knocked down, almost intercepted, intended for Q Thompson. Good coverage down here, but the flag on the field. Let's see what that is. It's in the backfield area. It was thrown by the line judge. It's going to be a false start against the Raiders. Now, that should be a dead ball foul, so even if he would have intercepted that, the play shouldn't have counted. Obviously, at this point, they will take the penalty, so it's going to be 1st down and 15. I don't think they even had the option on a dead ball foul. It's just a 5-yard penalty. So 1st and 15 for the Raiders. Ball is at their own 42-yard line. I think you'd agree with me, Jacob. These the Raiders are very aggressive passing the ball. And when you got a weapon like Maddox Hampton throwing it, why not? Maddox this time gives to the Pope. Pope looking for a crease. He bulls his way forward, a gain of 1. And there's a flag thrown after the play. There was 4 or 5 Rams who drove the Pope backwards. I don't know if what the flag is going to be called for. Let's see what the man in the white hat says. It's against Paragould. And hold on just a second. He put both hands on his hat. I don't know exactly what that is. Maybe too many men on the field, perhaps. You'll have to forgive my ignorance, Raider Nation, is I am not 100% sure what that indication is. It is against Paragould. I do know that.
I think he might have said illegal participation.
Yeah, too many men on the field. Yeah, it makes me feel better. Buddy Nichols didn't know what it meant either. He just said penalties against Paragould. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty. It must have been illegal precipitation. It's not even raining out there. How could it be illegal precipitation? I don't know. I don't know. And raining is legal anyway. How could he say that precipitation was? I don't know. In any event, it's 1st and 10 for the Raiders. And the ball is at the Paragould 26-yard line. Keandre Pope, the running back, he stands to the left of the Mad Dog, Maddox Hampton. He pitches to Pope. Pope running left side, trying to find the edge. And there's a really good pursuit by the Paragould defense. They tackle him at the 25-yard line of the Rams. It's going to be a short gain. And when I say short gain, I do mean a short gain. Matter of fact, I don't even see the yard marker moving over there. Got a Raider a little bit shaken up. Q Thompson he seems to be fine. I guess there's a penalty marker down. Yeah, there's that pink flag. I am missing the pink flag on a continual basis tonight. The penalties against Nettleton, I did not see what the referee indicated. It's holding against the Raiders. Okay, so that's why the chain gang was not giving Pope his positive yardage. So it's going to be 1st down and 20 for the Raiders. Ball at the 37-yard line. Maddox Hampton, the Raiders are leading this game 14-0. We're in the 2nd quarter. The Mad Dog in the gun with the Pope next to him, and going to be offsides against Paragould. That'll move the ball 5 yards in the Raiders' positive direction. Instead of 1st and 20, it'll be 1st and 15. 9:35 to play here in the 2nd quarter. The Raider offense back to work. Ball on the 32-yard line of the Rams. Mad Dog's going to pass. It's complete to the playmaker. The playmaker has close to the 1st down before he's brought down right about the 18-yard line. And there's another flag down, and it's going to be against the Raiders. So this will be coming back. The penalty is against the Raiders. Illegal receiver downfield against the Raiders, and that's the 2nd time that has burned us tonight. On the very first possession, the Mad Dog had, I don't know, maybe a 60-yard pass down here, and it was negated by a illegal man downfield. So it's back to being 1st and 20. It was 1st and 20, then 1st and 15. Now it's 1st and 20 again. Maddox Hampton, the quarterback, looking toward the sideline. The Raiders may want to call a timeout here. They're gonna run the play. Maddox from the gun. He's got the Pope in the backfield with him. The playmaker spread out to the right. Q Thompson Braylon King to the left. A Mad Dog rolling to the left. That's a design run, and he is hit in the backfield and thrown down. Hold on to the ball, Mad Dog. And it's going to be a big loss. And I do mean a big loss, a loss of probably 8 or 9 yards. And it's going to be second down and the proverbial country mile. There is a flag on the play, and this game has all of a sudden jumped ugly. No flag on the play. So it's second down and 30 is what the scoreboard says. 4 receivers spread wide to the right, 1 to the left, and the Mad Dog in an empty backfield. Cortez Smith, the playmaker, spread out wide left. Got 4 receivers to his right, and pass is complete on the right side to Q Thompson. Q still on his feet, reverses field, makes a cut, getting some positive yardage, stiff arms, and he's thrown down at about the 31-yard line. Good gain there, probably a gain of about, 12, 15 yards. And they're not moving the chains, which probably means there is a flag on the play. Yep, I see it now. I just have a tough time picking up that pink flag. You shouldn't. It's a bright colored, but I'm used to seeing yellow, and the pink flags, I have a tough time picking it up. Boy, what an ugly game this has turned into. It's going to be, penalty's going to be against the Raiders. It looked like that was a holding. I believe that was the indication that the man in the white hat had. And now then, it was second down, and it's going to be like second down and 40, I believe. Yeah, the ball's at the Nettleton 48-yard line, and it is second down and too many to count. The scoreboard says second down and 40. We'll go with that. Maddox Sampton in the backfield. He gives to the Pope, running it right up the middle. Bounces out left side. Has a crease. The Pope, he's at the 30. He's at the 15, at the 20. Dashing down the sideline. He's brought down at about the 10-yard line. Big time run. A gain of about 45. First down, Raiders.
And what a run by Keandre Pope. He found a crease, found a hole, and had some blockers. What a run, Keandre Pope.
Well, I love that call there by Clint Wilson as well. As everybody and their brother thought that it was going to be a pass, including the Paragould defense. Well, they handed it to the Pope, and he busted it for about 45. It's going to be first down and goal to go for the Raiders inside the 10-yard line. I believe it's at the 9-yard line. Mad Dog, high snap, gives to the Pope again. Let him score the touchdown. Pope running left side, angling toward the pylon. He does not make it. He does not make it. He's run out of bounds at about the 1-yard line. It's going to be second down and goal to go for the Raiders. And Paragould has elected to take a timeout. We'll take that timeout with them. We'll be back in 30 seconds with more Raider football. 7:40 remaining in the second quarter. The score is Nettleton 14, Paragould 0. Back in 30 with more Raider football on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network.
We won't be beat. Plaza Tire Service is the low price leader on tires. And if you do manage to find a lower price on a comparable tire, we'll match it with our low price pledge. Stretch your dollars with outstanding deals from Plaza Tire Service on tires for your car, van, truck, crossover, SUV, and more. Plaza Tire Service has a huge selection of tires in stock and ready to install today. Plus, get 6 months deferred interest on purchases of $149 or more with your Plaza Tire Service card. For the best deal on tires, see Plaza Tire Service.
And we welcome you back to Raider Field, where Nettleton has a 14-0 lead with 7:40 remaining in the second quarter. Second down and goal to go for the Raiders at the Ram 1-yard line. Maddox Sampton in the backfield with Keandre Pope. Pope been the workhorse on this drive. I have a feeling they're going to give the ball to him, let him score the touchdown. They give it to him. Boy, he's hit immediately and driven back. They're going to give him forward progress, and it's still going to be a pretty good-sized loss. Mercy. Third down and goal to go now for the Raiders at the 5-yard line of Paragould. I like the idea of giving it to the Pope, letting him score the touchdown. I did not like the result of that play. Paragould met him immediately, and third down and goal to go from the 5. Maddox Sampton and the Pope in the backfield. Let's see if they give it to number 1 again. 7:08 on the clock and ticking. 14-0 the score. Nettleton with a 2-touchdown lead over Paragould. Mad Dog is going to throw. Throws incomplete, intended for Q Thompson, and is knocked down I believe by Lucas Detheridge. Very good defensive play there, and it's going to bring up 4th down and goal to go from the 5. And now the Raider coaching staff has a decision to make. Are they going to try to kick a field goal, or are they going to go for it on 4th and 5? The offensive unit is staying out there. It looks like they're going to go for it. Play is whistle dead. Paragould may want to call a timeout and talk this over. 4th down and goal to go for the Raiders. Ball on the 5-yard line. No timeout was called after all. And Nettleton is going to be going for it. It would be a 22-yard field goal if they decided to try to kick it, but they're going to go for it instead. Maddox Hampton and the Pope in the backfield. Mad Dog is going to throw. This time it's complete in the end zone to Q Thompson. Touchdown, Q Thompson. Touchdown, Raiders.
And what a pass by Maddox Hampton. He fired a bullet to Q Thompson. Q Thompson hauled it in. What a catch by Q right there on the sideline. Toe tapped it in. Touchdown, Maddox Hampton. Touchdown, Q Thompson. Touchdown, Raiders. At 6:48, 20-0. Raiders lead.
And Joseph Newhung out to attempt the extra point. He has made 10 straight. And I hope I did not just jinx him. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 6:48 remaining in the second quarter, the score is now Nettleton 21, Paragould 0. We'll take a 30-second break. More Raider football when we come back on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network.
When you bank at First Security, you're choosing better for yourself and fellow Arkansans. Better service from friendly professionals who really invest in your goals. Better solutions with convenient tools and smart resources. And better support for the things that matter to you, as well as the communities that matter to us all. Because finding your better at First Security makes Arkansas better too. First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
We welcome you back to Raider Field, where Nettleton has a 21-0 lead. We say a big shout out to Bryce Holmes, drone pilot extraordinaire, coming out and getting some drone shots of the homecoming festivities for us. Gonna help our NTV program out tremendously as we make a highlight video of a wonderful homecoming week. And it's been a great night so far here at Nettleton at the football field, as Nettleton beating Paragould 21-0. Antonio Alvarez booms one deep, fielded at about the 18-yard line, and good return there by the Paragould Ram returner to the 38-yard line. Make sure you get that guy's name. That's Cole Chipman. Cole Chipman with a very good return. He returned the ball about 30 yards, and it's going to be 1st and 10 Rams. Actually, a fumble on the play and recovered by the Raiders. I swear I did not see that. Fumble on the play, recovered by the Raiders. Did you hear who Buddy said on the fumble recovery?
I do not.
Okay, well, fumble on the play. I did not see it. That's my apologies. Nettleton did recover the fumble. Did not hear who did it. My apologies. Hey, this broadcast's not costing you anything to listen to, so you're getting what you're paying for. Nettleton will take over, though. 1st and 10 at the Paragould 36-yard line. Maddox Hampton going back to work. He's going to pass on 1st down. Looking deep, looking in the end zone. It is intercepted by Paragould. It is intended for the playmaker, and instead it was intercepted by Paragould's number 2, Caleb Giles, who jumped up in the air and came down with it. So the turnovers giveth, the turnovers taketh away. Nettleton got a fumble recovery, and on the very next play, interception. So Paragould will take over 1st and 10, and the ball is marked at their 3-yard line. 6:32 remaining in the first quarter. Nettleton will be receiving the second half kickoff. I'm not going to mention what happens if we have a 35-point lead, because that has a way of jinxing the Raiders. So I'm not even going to mention maybe second half moving along a little quicker than it would. So Paragould, there's a fumble. There's a fumble, and I'll be dang, he is close to the goal line. He is almost a safety. He's marked at about the 1 yard line, fumble on the play. So it's going to be, and Paragould did recover. So it's going to be 2nd down and 12 for Paragould. The ball on the 1 yard line. I wouldn't mind one of them there safeties right now, Jacob.
Anything to help the turbo clock right now, Mr. Miller.
Oh, you said it. You said the word.
I'm not a well-known jinx like you.
That's the truth. Maybe if you say it, it'll come true. 21-0 Raiders, 5:58 to play in the second quarter. Quarterback sneak. Ballou running right up the middle, and he is met by the proverbial host of Raiders. Blake Brown in on the stop, and Brendan Alexander had his nose in there as well. Blake Brown, I believe, was the leading tackler. A gain of 1. It's going to be 3rd down and 11 for Paragould. Clock at 5:34 and ticking.
What do you say, a plethora of Raiders?
Yes, I would say a plethora of Raiders. I would.
Do you know what a plethora is, Mr. Miller?
El Guapo, I'm not as intelligent as you. 3rd down and 11. The Rams are going to pass. It is incomplete. Intercepted, and Jamie Morris is going to take it to the house. Pick 6, Jamie Morris bounced off of the receiver. Jamie Morris was there to haul it in, ran it in from about 15, 16 yards out, and Nettleton up 27-0 after a pick 6 by Jamie Morris.
I mean, bounced off of the hands of the receiver and Brandon Alexander. Jamie Morris is there. Jamie Morris takes it to the house. Not only does he lay the wood, he can find the end zone. Touchdown Raiders, touchdown Jamie Morris.
So we had a fumble, and we had an interception, and then another interception, this time for the good guys, interception and a pick 6. And Nettleton really close to going up 28-0. Joseph Newhung out to attempt the extra point. Caleb Tedder, the holder. Clark Phillips, the snapper. The snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So the score is 28-0 with 4:45 remaining in the first half. The Raiders have a 28-0 lead after the pick 6 by Jamie Morris. I tell you what, we will just keep it right here, and we'll tell you that you don't want to go anywhere during halftime because we're going to have the Kavanaugh Auto Group halftime show brought to you by the Kavanaugh Auto Group. Me and my friend Jacob Linderman, my student Jacob Linderman, we're enjoying the comforts here of the NEA broadcast position at Nettleton. Get better with Baptist, and we're going to bring you the Kavanaugh Auto Group halftime show at halftime. If you want to see the complete inventory of Kavanaugh Auto Group from the comfort of your home, all you got to do is log on to CavanaughCars.com. Good time to trade in a vehicle. Always good to shop at our friends at Kavanaugh Auto Group. CavanaughCars.com. Lori Williams will be our special guest. And we got some members of the class of '82 who may be bum rushing me here in the booth. I'm going to get Jacob to watch my back. The kickoff lands inside the 20. Paragould picks it up, and they advance it to the 35-yard line. I think it's getting a little bit contentious out there, it seems. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Rams. Raiders leading 28-0, 4:36 remaining in the second quarter. And Jacob, did somebody call a timeout?
I don't think they did.
Don't think they did either. Everybody, the field, both teams retreated to their sidelines, but I do not believe that was a timeout. So it will be Paragould ball at their own 36-yard line. The Raider defensive unit is out there. 4:36 remaining in the second quarter. Carter Ballou, the quarterback, he pitches. It's a reverse to number 11. He's got some positive yardage. He has got a first down. He's dashing down the far sideline. He's still on his feet across the 30, across the 20-yard line. That's where he's pushed out of bounds. Nathan Brittingham, the ball carrier. And that's a big gain for Paragould, and I'm afraid I may have jinxed the Raiders by mentioning the turbo clock.
I think I might have too. I said the words.
1st and 10 for Paragould on the Nettleton 20. Let's see if we can get a stop and a score. 4:25 remaining in the second quarter. Nettleton's got time if they can get a stop. Quarterback is met in the backfield by Blake Brown. Blake Brown says, "How do you do, Mrs. Wiley?" That's a tackle for a loss. And Blake Brown, has 6 tackles for loss now on the season. He leads the team with 56 tackles. And it's 2nd down and 11 for Paragould. Ball on the Raider 21-yard line. After the trick play, the reverse netted some awfully big yards for the Rams. Carter Ballou under center for Paragould. Gives to the fullback. Ball looked like it might have popped loose, but I believe he held on to it. Gets to the line of scrimmage and maybe a little bit further. It's going to be 3rd down and 10. And actually, the ball did pop loose. And Keon Stallings jumping up and down saying that he's got it. However, the referee's saying that he was down. The ground cannot cause a fumble. And so it's going to be 3rd down and 10 for the Rams. Ball on the 20-yard line. They pitch it to the tailback. It's a sweep right. Jordan Pegram leading the tackle, and it's going to be a tackle for a loss. Jordan Pegram leads the team, tackles for a loss. He's got 8 of them on the season. Well, now he's got 9. It's going to be 4th down and 11 for Paragould. The clock is under 3 minutes. You would sure think that Paragould would be going for it here. 4th down and 12, this deep in Nettleton territory on the 22-yard line, and they are going for it. The clock is at 2:40 now and ticking. So see if Nettleton can't get a turnover on downs. They're going to throw. The throw is incomplete. Incomplete and intended on the far sideline, but see, I can't get you that receiver's number. I believe that is number 2, Caleb Giles, intended receiver. The Junebug was there on the defense for the Raiders. It's a turnover on downs. Nettleton will take over with 2:32 remaining in the 2nd quarter. The ball is on their own 22-yard line. Nettleton does have a full complement of timeouts, 3 timeouts for the Raiders. And the Mad Dog, Maddox Sampson, in the backfield with the playmaker to his right. Let's see if the Raiders can't put another 7 on the board, activate that turbo clock, and we'll get the homecoming dance started a little bit early tonight at Nettleton. Mad Dog drops straight back. Pass is complete to Q Thompson. He's across the 40, the 50. It's a race to the end zone. He's across the 30, the 20, the 10. Q Thompson, touchdown Raiders. Maddox Hampton, his 4th touchdown pass of the night, and Nettleton takes a 34-0 lead.
And what a pass from Maddox Hampton. He found Q Thompson on the scramble. Q Thompson just had the breakaway speed, that track star speed. Q Thompson found the outside, found the end zone. Touchdown Maddox Hampton, touchdown Q Thompson, and touchdown Raiders with 2:18 remaining in the 2nd quarter. It's 34-0 Raiders.
78 yards on the play. All right, now here's where we'll find out if I'm a jinx. If he gets this field goal, it's going to activate the turbo clock in the 3rd quarter if we can hold him scoreless. He misses it, no turbo clock. The kick is up. The kick is good, and Nettleton has a 35-0 lead with 2:18 remaining in the 1st half. We'll take a 30-second break, and we'll have more 2nd quarter action for you here at Raider Field when we come back. You tuned in to Nettleton Raider Football on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network.
Don't let your credit stop you from getting your next vehicle. Drive your deal to the max at a dealer financing you. Automax of Jonesboro. Hi folks, Craig Stone here. If you need to upgrade your ride, don't worry about your past. Come to Automax. At Automax, we have financing to fit your budget with affordable monthly payments and low down payments. Give us a call at 870-934-9200 or speed up your approval by applying online at automaxjonesboro.com. And hey, we buy cars too, even if you don't buy ours. So if you're looking to buy new, give us a chance to buy yours and ensure you get the most out of your trade-in. Automax, financing you.
And we welcome you back to Raider Field. Just had a visitor in the press box, the great Steve Mills from the class of 1982. Great to see Steve. The famous Mills family, Mike Mills, Steve Mills, Double Tough Danny Mills in the class of 89. Steve is from the class of 82. And, man, that is a great class. A lot of good human beings in the class of 82. And they're having a good time tonight at Raider Field. Antonio Alvarez's kick is picked up at the 12-yard line. It's a live ball, and Paragould kind of let it bounce around a little bit. That could have been disastrous for the Rams. They do pick it up, and they're tackled at the 20-yard line. I believe Brendan Alexander was the leading tackler for the Rams. So it's 1st and 10, Paragould from their own 21-yard line.
And that was a phenomenal kick by Antonio. Just bounced and bounced and did not go out of bounds, and that's a lucky Raider bounce.
So Paragould will have the ball with 2:12 remaining in the second quarter. New coach at Paragould, Coach David Gunn. But as we have said, and I think anybody who knows the situation knows, there are some schools it's hard to win at. Paragould is one of those schools, but they have sure hired a good man. I think they had a great man before, but Coach David Gunn, he's got big-time college experience. That's a huge hire by Paragould. It shows you the commitment that they have to turn that football program around. Tailback running the ball, looking for the edge, and he does find it. Gets close to a first down. Tackled out of bounds after a gain of about 8. It's going to be 2nd down and 2, and the clock stops with 2:03 remaining in the second quarter. Paragould in the huddle. They break it. Carter Ballou, the quarterback, under center. Gives to one of the running backs, and he's met at the line of scrimmage by the murder man, Cam Phillips. Cam drops him after a short gain. It's going to be 3rd down and about 1. Actually, they're going to say he fell forward, got enough yardage for a first down. So they will move the chains. They'll stop the clock long enough to get it set. Now they roll it. 1:40 remaining in the second quarter. Nettleton with a 35-0 lead, which means if the Raider defense can hold here in these final 1 minute and 30 seconds, it will be the turbo clock in the second half. Music to my ears. Great open field tackle by Kylan Shelton. A tackle for a loss by number 22, and it's going to be 2nd down and 15 after big-time play by Kylan Shelton.
Now what a play by Shelton. He just finds the running back, wraps him up, and rolls with him. The great form tackle by Kylan Shelton. The old hawk roll.
Kylan's brother, Montel Moore, was a great player several years ago. I believe Montel was probably about class 2015, I believe. Great player, and boy, I see a lot of Montel and his little brother. He's a great football player. Under pressure, that's a quarterback sack. I believe Keon Stallings was the first one to get to him. The murder man, Cam Phillips, also in on it, but give the sack to Keon Stallings, the outstanding sophomore defensive lineman. Great quarterback sack by Keon. It's 3rd down and a country mile for Paragould.
And that's a phenomenal pass rush, and we see that all game, and we see that all season. This Raider defensive line just looks great tonight.
So there's 20 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Paragould's going to have to punt the ball away. Actually, they're not going to have to punt the ball away. It is 3rd down. They give the ball to the running back up the middle, and that will be the last play of the second quarter, the last play of the first half. At the end of the first half, your score is Nettleton 35, Paragould 0. We'll take a 4-minute break, and when we come back, we will have the Kavanaugh Auto Group halftime show. We'll recount the first half. We'll give you some stats, and we'll have a very special guest. That's Lori Williams, longtime employee of the Nettleton School District and a proud member of the Nettleton class of 1982. She's going to be telling us about the 40-year reunion and about all the things that she does at Nettleton, what Nettleton was like in the early 80s. It's going to be a very good conversation with Lori when we come back on the Kavanaugh Auto Group halftime show. Don't you go anywhere. We'll be back in 4 minutes with the halftime show. Raider football on NTV and Ticket Sports Network.
Now you can enjoy the great taste of Japan in downtown Jonesboro. Bamboo Japanese Cuisine has all your favorites, from steak and chicken to seafood and sushi. Bamboo also has house poke bowls, or you can build your own bowl. Bamboo Japanese Cuisine with hibachi, sushi, and seafood is open Monday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and discounts are available for students. So stop by and dine in with us, or log on to BambooJapaneseCuisine.com and like them on Facebook. Bamboo Japanese Cuisine on the corner of Main and Huntington in downtown Jonesboro.
Your vehicle is a personal personal and important investment. At Central Collision Center, we're more than collision repair. We do everything from minor paint touch-ups and windshield replacements to framework. We're committed to customer satisfaction and provide the highest quality of service. At Central Collision Center, we provide honest and expert auto care and offer a written lifetime warranty and on-site rental car arrangements. Stop by or give us a call today to schedule your free estimate. Central Collision Center. Professional, convenient, reliable. Behind Central Chevrolet on Stadium and online at centralcollisionctr.com.
Whether you're replacing an old appliance or remodeling your whole kitchen, the appliances you need are right around the corner. With GE Appliances at Tucker's Appliance Superstore in Jonesboro. Shop timeless designs and time-saving features on the appliances that are built to last in the busiest homes. Visit Tucker's Appliance today and upgrade your home your way with GE Appliances and your local experts. Shop Tucker's Appliance today and save.
Tucker's Appliance.
Pico Food says good luck to all the players, coaches, cheerleaders, and marching bands taking the field tonight. Under the lights, it's not about who's in your path, it's about who's in your huddle. And Pico Foods is a proud teammate and supporter of local communities and the state's agricultural producers. Learn more about Pico Foods' mission to support producers in Arkansas and Missouri by calling David Durham or James Chester, 870-202-7101. In Alabama and Mississippi, call Craig Bird or John Taylor Hickman, 601-670-9383.
25 years of memories, 25 years of smiles, opportunities, and friends. 25 years of community. Because of you, we've forged long-lasting partnerships that have made our communities better. We can all agree that a lot has changed in 25 years, but our promise to always be a true community bank remains the same. Our roots run deep. Our commitment to you runs deeper. We're celebrating 25 years of First Community Bank, and the best is yet to come.
Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Your medical needs are personal, and the way you manage those needs should be personal as well. The team at Southern Home Healthcare is local, knowledgeable, and courteous, giving you the customized care you and your family deserve. When facing breathing challenges, the on-staff respiratory therapists at Southern Home Healthcare provide support and guidance just for you, and you can sleep better with the help of their CPAP and BiPAP therapy. Plus, treat your strains, sprains, and pain with the help of Southern Home Healthcare's high-quality bracing devices. Go online to southernhomehealthjonesboro.com.
No matter what the season, it's always a great time to go to Wings to Go. Whether it's football, whether it's basketball, whether it's baseball, whether it's wrestling, whether it's anything, the wings, the salads, the hamburgers, everything they have at Wings to Go is always flavorful and it's always ready. All that has to happen is you come down and enjoy them. Happy winging from Wings to Go.
Follow me on a new healthcare journey, full of possibilities. Experience world-class care delivered by friends, family, and neighbors right here in your community, bringing industry-leading technology to you, not the other way around. Your health record, your appointment scheduling, and your medications all in one place, and your lab results delivered the instant they're recorded. Do we look at healthcare differently? Absolutely. Experience the difference, and you will too. NEA Baptist, healthcare for the next century.
And we welcome you back to Raider Field, a happy homecoming here at Nettleton. And Nettleton has a 35-0 lead over Paragould. If you're watching on the YouTube stream, then you are seeing the band getting set up to play. We're very proud of our Raider band here, and we'll leave the up camera on the band, letting you get to see them, and you'll be hearing an interview. We got some very special guests in the NEA Baptist broadcast position. We got some members of the class of 1982. They are having their 40-year reunion, and Lori Williams has brought some backup. She is tired of me always talking about how the class of 89 is the best class ever, which it is. Every Nettleton historian worth their salt will tell you that the class of 89 is the best ever, but I do got to say the class of 82 was extremely good. We got Paul Carter, who is a great member of the class of 82. We got Lori Williams, who's, I think, just a living Nettleton legend. We got Dr. Kim Wilbanks, who's the superintendent of Jonesboro Schools, but a proud graduate of 82. We got Andy Shatley coming in, class of 94, and oh, he says it's the best class ever. We're going to have all kind of arguments up here at homecoming. But joining us on the microphone is Dr. Michael Fletcher, who is a member of the class of 82, and they say a class of 82 football historian.
I don't know about that.
Dr. Fletcher, we sure appreciate you coming up and blessing us with some knowledge, because the class of 82, I think, all of us will agree on this. We could argue over who is the best, but y'all got a special group of human beings in that class.
We do.
How's the reunion going so far?
We got a good turnout. Good turnout. I don't know the number, but we got.
Steve Mills is in from Virginia.
Yeah, somebody from Virginia.
Steve Mills come in from Virginia. He came up and got some from Texas. Fantastic. That is great. It really is a good class. Now, my sister was a class of 81, and so I don't know what this says about me. When I was a little boy, one of my favorite things to do was sit in the floor and look through the annuals of my sister. And so y'all really are larger than life figures in my life. I grew up looking up to
We were
you.
your idols.
That's right.
I mean, you were probably in the stands cheering us on.
I was. Speaking of which, Nettleton y'all were good academically. You're also good athletically. Had a very good football team. I know we were talking before the break. Y'all went 8-2 your senior year?
8-2, yeah.
8-2. Now, I know you remember the losses more so than you do the wins. Who were the two losses that year?
Newport. We lost to them 28-20 at Newport, and on the road we ran into a pretty good team in Augusta that had a student body sweep that was really hard to stop.
So that's the voice of Dr. Mike Fletcher, who's talking to us about the class of 82 and their football season. And y'all were 3A classification back then, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. And one of the smaller 3A schools.
Yeah, I think somebody told us we were the smallest 3A school in state.
You know, in a sport like football, that is huge. You can compete in basketball, just 5 people on the court, but if you got 22 people playing out there, that's a big disadvantage. But it sounds like y'all competed very well.
Oh, we had some really good athletes. You know, we had Rick Laster was our quarterback, David Trammell was a halfback, Jerry West. I played flanker back. Brett Huggins, he played split end. Mark Harrison, Steve Mills, Brian Kelly. We had a ton. Joe Simpson. Sean
Legends.
Barnett. Yeah, we had some good players.
No doubt about it. Who all was in your conference back then?
Let's see. So we had Newport. We had Paragould, Greene County Tech. Who else? Batesville, Pocahontas. Truman was in there. Yeah.
Good deal. So we beat Truman. That was I remember that being a big rivalry.
Oh
game.
yeah, we beat Truman. We beat Truman 19-0, and they had a future NFL player.
Shelley?
Elbert Shelley was a halfback.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
Did you ever get a chance to tackle him?
Absolutely.
How about that?
We rubbed his nose in the dirt, man. Albert Shelley. There is films. We got films.
They have to post those films a little bit later. We can verify the truth.
Yeah.
Now, what position did you play, Doc?
I played I played a little tight end starting out, and then I played some flanker.
Okay.
And
receiver.
Receiver, yeah.
And your quarterback was?
Lassiter, Rick Lassiter.
Rick Lassiter.
He transferred our senior year. He played at Westside, and he transferred over to Nettleton.
Hey, and that's like the Hatfields transferring to the McCoys right there.
It was.
Westside and Nettleton.
I
agree.
Well, he had some family roots from Nettleton. You know, some his dad and Jason and all them. They went to Nettleton.
Yeah. No.
So he always wanted to come to Nettleton. You know,
love it. I love it. Well, it's where everybody wants to go for sure. Now we're saying that while we're in the presence of the superintendent of Jonesboro Schools. We got to be very careful because Kim is here with us as well. Let's pass the microphone headset over to Kim. Dr. Kim Wilbanks, who is the superintendent of Jonesboro Public Schools, and what a great job she's done there. But like Lori and Paul and the good doctor are saying here, she is a Nettleton girl. And I guess it's true what they say. You can take the girl out of Nettleton, but you can't take the Nettleton out of the girl.
That's exactly right. And I grew up a Nettleton kid. My parents both went to school here as Nettleton Raiders, and so I'll always taught here for 21 years. Right. So Nettleton will always have a big place in my heart. And you're correct. My dad was one of the first football coaches here.
That's exactly right. I'm glad that you mentioned that. In 1965, they started a football program here. The head coach was a man named Don Yarbrough. I know all of us got memories of him, Smokey Yarbrough. But the assistant coach was the great Phil Bridger. His wife, June, I call them the first couple of Nettleton. That's what I call them.
Yes, exactly. Now, what he's probably never told you is one of the reasons he had to quit coaching is I cried so bad when he left us at home at night that they didn't know what to do. And so I think that was one of the reasons he had to give up coaching and reffing.
Well, that's a good reason. That's a good reason. Dr. Kim Wilbanks, superintendent of Jonesboro Schools, and the class of '82 reunion going on. What all do y'all got going on this weekend? And Lori is who's lady that's planned an awful lot of it. Lori, what all y'all got going, and am I invited to anything?
No. Yeah, you can come and then maybe you'll see what to do for yours. But we are meeting down here at the end zone, north end zone, and a lot of members came in. We took a tour of the school. Your room was the library back in the day. They were just worried about the old part. And I said the students now call it the dungeon, and it just hurt their heart.
Yeah, that's so offensive to
me. It is. It's very offensive.
Yeah.
And so tomorrow we are going to go to the Whisper Creek Lodge in Bono, and for our dinner we have Bill Crane as a classmate that is cooking. He competed downtown last weekend in the barbecue fest. He's placed several times, so he's cooking, and we're just sitting around and just enjoying each other's fellowship and company, and just trying to get caught up with everybody, and it's just going to be real low-key and just important just to be with each other.
Visiting with old friends.
Yes.
That's what it's about. That's what a reunion's about. That's what homecoming is about.
Yes.
And that's the voice of Lori Williams that you hear, and we're at halftime. Nettleton has a 35-0 lead
Woo-hoo! Over
Paragould, and Raiders looking awfully good tonight.
They look good.
High-octane offense.
Yes.
Maddox Hampton throwing the ball down the field. Now, we're joined in the booth by several members of the class of 1982, including Paul Carter. And I'm going to ask you to pass the headsets over to Paul, because Paul, if my memory serves correctly, got a scholarship from Arkansas State University.
You betcha.
As a athletic
trainer, equipment manager. Back in the day, as the athletic trainer, equipment manager at ASU.
And so you did that here at Nettleton.
Right.
Who was the coach?
Chester Key.
Chester Key, okay.
Was the coach, and Lynn Nix before him. So we went from Lynn Nix to Chester Key in those 4 years of high school stuff. And that's what I've come down here. I live in town, but I don't get down here to Nettleton. I'm looking out there over this facility they have down here. I'm glad y'all got that grass mowed for tonight's game. When I left here last time, Fletcher and I were talking about it earlier, there was a big hump in the middle of the field, and water would drain to the sideline. Yep. And we haven't had rain now in, 6 weeks in Jonesboro. There would still be water down here on the sideline. So where the sprinkler and it would just roll right over here to the side. But the facilities are great. Things have changed down here. The program's on the right track now. I mean, Nettleton has got something that we're all proud of. I'm proud of the fact we got a bunch of, in our class, in Class 82, good folk, got a lot of doctors, and they're coming in handy now in life. Got good doctors, and you need your friends now more than you did in high school, folks. You really need your friends. They can really take care of you. But it's been fun. We got seen a lot of folks I hadn't seen in a while. Seen a lot of people in the stands I hadn't seen in a long time. People coming out that I'm like, they were here 40 years ago, and it was 40 years ago. And we made it 40 years.
I don't think there's a more Nettleton family than the Carters, with all your brothers and sisters, and of course your nephew is Brian Carter, who's our athletic director and former principal at the high school. You mentioned Nettleton. That's one of the first families you think of.
That was mom said tell everybody hello. She's still getting around. She's still doing. She's got other priorities. She's got grandchildren having baby showers tomorrow. So she was coming back from the store, and she said, "You tell everybody that it's." I said hello down there. So
how old is she now?
She's 93. She had her 93rd birthday and drove herself to the party. So
wow.
I mean, she's still getting around like she wants to and does what she wants to. But you was talking about. I think my brother Phil. I know he was in the first football team for Smokey and Phil Bridger and them, and then Mike, my brother Mike, actually scored the first touchdown for Nettleton in a junior high game before the high school game. So
that was the first Nettleton touchdown.
That's what I've been told anyway. And he had his bell rung when he did that, so he didn't know what he was doing then either. So I mean, they scored him a touchdown. But no, it's good. It's got a lot, like I say, a lot of history. The Carter, we've all went to school here and graduated. There was 8 of us kids, and We've enjoyed everything. We like to give back to the community and whatnot, and I'm just proud of what y'all doing down here, Craig, what you've done also.
Well, I appreciate that, Paul. That's the voice of Paul Carter from the class of 1982. Just for the kids that are listening out there, what was Nettleton like in the early 80s?
Well, I mean, we've talked about this a couple times with some friends. Back in the 80s, you had, at lunchtime, we had what was called an open campus. You could walk off campus and go eat lunch, and you had 4 choices. You had the JT's, which later become Williams Grocery. You had Couches. You had the Eskimo Queen. Or you had the Dog right across the street from the old gym. The dog. Oh, it's over there in spirit, believe you me. There's some remnants over. Well, the burger would still taste the same, or the sandwich would still taste the same today. But no, the Dog was a little stand right across from the old gym, and that's where we would have our dances and stuff at the old gym,
right?
Which is off of is that Ray Street?
Ray Street.
And I remember when they tore that down, there's like, oh my gosh, the stuff they found in that gym. Whenever John Sarnian was tearing it down, there was some. But yeah, back in the day, we were off campus at lunch. Most of the kids would ride the school bus to school. I mean, that was something I can't get over the fact that there's more kids that they're not riding the school buses like they used to. But I don't know, just kind of the camaraderie of the older classes. They've stuck together. Our class has stuck together. We've had, like I say, we've got 80-something folks coming in that registered to come in for this weekend.
Incredible.
But if something about, you go to the dance after the ball game in the old gym, you'd have the pep rally. And before the game, I think we were the only class to have 2 floats to burn in our history. We had, of the 4 years in high school, 2 of them burned. And
was that the class of 81 that did that?
81, and I don't know. I don't think they're not out yet on that arson charge.
Statute of limitations might not be out.
No, they're still probably.
Well, let the record state the class of 81 vandalized the class of 89 composite at their reunion last year. So maybe we could join forces and 82 and 89 against 81.
I would give nothing. I mean, we had a great high school. Nettleton's a great school. I mean, it's got a lot of heritage, a lot of history. There's always been good folks come out of Nettleton School. It's been that way since they were the Nettleton Phillips School District when they were formed.
And they don't call it Nettleton Phillips anymore. It's just Nettleton. Somewhere along the way, the Phillips people got to be upset. Why don't we call it Phillips anymore? Maybe. Do you know anything about that, Paul?
I don't think any of the Carters. We're the North Side Carters. They're not. They're the South Side Carters. But anyway,
Paul Carter,
appreciate it.
Yes, sir. From the class of 82. We'll put the microphone back on Lori, and such a good time visiting with the class of 82. They're here for their 40-year reunion. And, Lori, if you would, I know you've been at Nettleton. You're like me, Nettleton born, Nettleton bred. When you die, you'll be Nettleton dead. But you
44 years.
44 years.
I went to school here all 12 years, and this is year 32 for me.
And working here.
Yes, working.
And what do you do at the school?
I do records.
Okay, awesome.
Lots of records.
And it keeps you busy.
Really busy.
How has the school changed since 1982?
Oh, it's a lot large. I mean, it's just so much larger. The campus is larger. That's what we were just talking about. The gym is only the original thing left, and the old part of the high school, and everything else is gone. But we were here during fun times. I was taking the class around, and they wanted to know where the smoking rails were. And, where our high school sits now was a field where we all played football and, and then the elementary and the gym where we had our dances and PE class. And
Miss Sisler?
Yeah, Miss Sisler, yes. She's a legend.
No
yes.
doubt. No doubt. Well, as many things have changed, one thing has stayed the same. That's Miss Bobby Timmerman.
Oh, yeah. She's, yes. We thought she was about to retire when we had her in 82, and she's just the energized Buzzy. Yeah, and we didn't know it. Yeah, no. She was young. We just thought, yeah, her and Miss Spear were a good duo.
Well, she would have been, in her early 40s.
She's been in her early 40s. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Yeah.
That's young.
Yes, and it's really young. But, yeah. I hope I have that energy when, yes.
Hey, Dr. Wilbank said, how old do you think your kids think you are now? I don't want to think about that for sure. Now, Lori, you met your husband at Nettleton. You had a high school sweetheart, and he's one of the best men I've ever known, and that is Roger Williams.
Yeah.
And Dr. Fletcher is responsible for that. Tell us that story.
Well, it was always Mike and Roger and myself. We were always running buddies, and and so Mike would always try to hook us up. And anyway, so yes, it happened. So we dated in junior high, skipped through high school, and then got married in '83. And it's been 39 years, 3 kids, 6 grandkids later.
Hey, give a shout out to your kids
Yes.
and grandkids.
Yes, definitely. I'd have to list all of them.
You got-
Taylor,
yep.
Jordan, Tanner, Collins, William, Sloan, Weston, Stella, and Baker.
I love it. Y'all are great parents and you're great grandparents. I love going out to the house and seeing the grandchildren just so
yeah.
happy and having a big
Yes,
time.
they're all here in town, which is great.
Love it.
Cook every Sunday night, so our house is loud.
Why haven't I
on
been
Sunday.
invited? Why haven't I
know.
been invited to that? I didn't know you were cooking every
Hey,
Sunday
it's
night.
open invitation. Open invitation.
I appreciate it. Hey, I appreciate y'all coming up. The class of '82 really is one of the greatest classes to ever come through Nettleton.
Yes.
We've been privileged to have
I
Paul.
keep trying to tell you that.
I know it. We argue
I
all the
put it on
time.
your door. I put it on your car
Well,
or
you-
your truck.
You came to a birthday party one time, and Roger had
Yes.
printed up some coasters
Yes.
saying that '82 is the best class
Yes.
ever. So
Yes.
y'all are doing your best to get the message across.
Yes.
I'm just kind of hard to go through this thick school. Andy Shatley's in the next
82.
booth, and he's saying it's 94. But I really do appreciate Dr. Fletcher, Dr. Will Banks, Chef Paul Cartier, and the great Lori Williams. Thank y'all for joining
Thank
us.
you for
and
having
hope you have a
us.
wonderful rest of the reunion.
Go Raiders.
Go Raiders. Raider Prize, sister. What a wonderful privilege to talk to the great class of '82. I tell you what, let's take a 1-minute break. When we come back, we'll have some highlights and recap the first half. 1-minute break. Then we'll be back with more of the halftime show brought to you by the Kavanaugh Auto Group. Back in 60 seconds with more of the halftime show.
Demo's Smokehouse Barbecue on Johnson at Hilltop and on Main Street across from Jonesboro High School. Now, I'm from Memphis and I know barbecue, but there are people from Memphis that travel to Jonesboro to sample, taste, and enjoy Demo's Barbecue. No kidding, they come from Memphis, so no need to go anywhere else. Right here, the best barbecue is at Demo's. Any of the ribs, any of the plates, you can enjoy it all at Demo's Smokehouse Barbecue. My mouth is watering.
The home team at Jonesboro Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is proud to welcome Dr. Asa Schneickel. Dr. Schneickel is an ACE State alum and is Northeast Arkansas's only joint revision surgeon, specializing in several forms of joint replacement. He joins the Jonesboro Sports and Orthopedics team with more than 40 years experience in getting you back in the game. So if you have a sports injury, just some nagging aches, or even need help with concussion management, call JOSM at 932-1820 to schedule an appointment. Jonesboro Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, excelling in our field so you can excel on yours.
And we welcome you back to Raider Field. It's homecoming, and Nettleton has a 35-0 lead over Paragould. Maddox Hampton, 200 yards passing in the first half, 11 yards rushing. The playmaker, Curtis Smith, 109 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. Speaking of 2 touchdowns, Q Thompson has 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1 receiving. And the Raiders are leading 35-0. The Raiders got the scoring started in the first quarter when Maddox Hampton hit Curtis Smith with a 71-yard touchdown pass. And then just a little bit later, same song, different stanza. Maddox Hampton to Curtis Smith, 38-yard touchdown pass. Made the score 14-0 after the Maddox Hampton PAT. Nettleton scored 3 times in the second quarter. A Maddox Hampton pass to Q Thompson. A pick 6 by the Carpenter, Jamie Morris, and a touchdown pass from Mad Dog to Q Thompson made the score 35-0. We're joined by my old tag team partner. I'm talking about Andy Shatley. Andy has got the headset on. You gonna call a little color with me?
Hey, I'll do whatever. It's a beautiful night to play college to high school football, is it not? Here at Raider Field.
I love it, brother. I love it. You may want to sit down. You might be able to see better.
And all I want to say is it was 0-0 when I pulled into the parking lot. Now look at the score.
Well, the Cardinals are winning 2-1 when I turned on the TV today too. Q Thompson fields the kickoff of the third quarter, and he's running right side, dashing down the sidelines, makes a move across the 50 to the 45. He's thrown down about the 41-yard line. Hey, that kid right there, Q Thompson, a heck of a return. Andy, have you been following him so far this season?
I have, and, we talked about that huge senior class of last year graduating. The 1,000 questions start appearing like, okay, who's going to fill their shoes? Don't make me sing the song. But all of a sudden it opens up opportunities for people to slide in there, show what they can do. And, you improve over the summer. You hit the weights, get faster, bigger, stronger, and all of a sudden Friday night you're lighting up the scoreboard.
Q Thompson definitely doing that for sure this year. He is leading receiver for the Raiders. Maddox Hampton, the quarterback, he is in the shotgun in an empty backfield. 2 receivers to his left and 3 spread out to his right. In motion is Braylon King. It's good to be the King. They give it to the King. The King is brought down in the backfield. Boy, that's a very good tackle there by Paragould's Sam Hunt. And that's going to be a loss of about 9 yards for the Raiders.
Well, Paragould's really looking for something to build on, too. This game kind of got out of hand in a hurry there in the first half. And Paragould is going to try to make some positive plays on defense and offense, and that's something their defense can build on here in the second half.
So 2nd down and 19. The ball is at the 50-yard line. Maddox Hampton in the backfield with Keandre Pope. This time last year, Andy, it was Cameron Scarlett and the Cobra, Kobe Bradley. And being chased out of the backfield and sacked for a big loss is Maddox Hampton. That was number 37 for Paragould, Xavier Wynn. And ever since Andy Shatley has joined me in the broadcast booth, the Raiders have just been losing yards and losing yards.
I'm not even going to go there because when we talk about the Cardinals being ahead 2-0 and all of a sudden I got a text message that said, hey, I'm at home back watching the game now. No, you're going to have some negative plays. You're going to have a young quarterback trying to figure out how to make a play, make decisions. And it is tough being a young quarterback trying to make a positive out of a negative play.
He passes complete to Braylon King. Braylon King across midfield, brought down at the 41-yard line, gets back to the original line of scrimmage. So instead of 3rd down and a country mile, it's going to be 3rd down and 9 for the Raiders.
I will say, watching Maddox Hampton as a sophomore, he's very talented. He's got the tool set to play quarterback, especially to put the ball in the air. What you're going to see is a learning curve as he goes this year, where not every play is going to go as planned, and try to figure out how to make something positive out of it.
I misspoke earlier. I said it's going to be 3rd and 9. It's actually 4th down. 4th down and 10. The Mad Dog in the backfield with the Pope. Mad Dog is going to pass. Pass is incomplete, intended for Keandre Pope. A little bit low. It's going to be a turnover on downs. Turbo clock rolling, 8:49 and ticking. Nettleton up 35-0.
I'm really kind of surprised they didn't do like a quick punt there. They used to do that a lot last year with Cameron Scarlett, and I don't know if we've seen Maddox punt the ball yet this year, but Cameron did that a lot last year when they would have 4th and long, and he would slide back maybe 1 or 2 yards and just kind of do a quick kick.
Yep, that's what they're doing again this year.
Gotcha.
Now, tonight he actually was back in a more traditional punt formation. They had a punt blocked at Batesville, and ever since then they've kind of been going back further, I guess, to prevent that from happening.
Well,
again.
when you're up 35-0, you're going to kind of roll the dice, especially on your side of the 50.
Paragould takes over 1st and 10, their own 41-yard line. Give it to the tailback, and he's met immediately by the murder man, Cam Phillips. Big-time tackle for loss. That's going to be a loss of about 8. Cam Phillips sniffed that one right out. Good penetration by the murder man.
And I remember that name from last year. There are 2 names on that defensive line that are making some serious noise for Paragould tonight. And, honestly, you got to figure out – you got to account for those 2 numbers, number 90 and number 63. Experience on the defensive line. They play aggressive. They get in the backfield in a hurry, and they wreak havoc on offensive line.
2nd down and 17 after the big tackle for loss by Cam Phillips. The quarterback is rolling to his left, and again he sees a slew of black jerseys. Does his best to get some positive yardage. He didn't make it back to the line of scrimmage.
Craig, sometimes on defense you don't really sing the praises of an individual because maybe they don't make the tackle, but they cause a huge problem for the offense. And Jordan Pegram right there, I have no idea why Paragould's trying to run the ball towards Jordan Pegram. They tried to block him with 3 people right there, and he didn't make the tackle, but he completely stopped any progress and turned that ball back into his linebackers and his help. And sometimes you can make a play without making the play.
Loss of 2. It'll be 3rd down and 19 for Paragould. The quarterback is Caleb Giles, and the play is whistled dead. It's going to be a penalty against Paragould, false start against the Rams, and that will make it 3rd down and 24.
Well, it's certainly been all Nettleton tonight. Anytime that your offense can put some points on the board and then all of a sudden your defense turns around and puts 6 on the board also, it's certainly a balanced attack.
So 3rd down and 24 for the Rams. They're going to pass. It's a short pass, and it's incomplete. Almost intercepted on the far sideline over there by Brendan Alexander, but incomplete, 4th down and long.
Yeah, you've seen some issues on special teams tonight already on the punt return team, but I will tell you there's some electricity in the air, and you never know what's going to happen on special teams. And if Nettleton can hold up Paragould on the line right here and maybe set up for a punt return, we could see some serious yardage here.
Curtis Smith, the playmaker, standing at about the Raider 39-yard line. Punt is away from him, and it takes a Nettleton bounce, rolls to about the 48-yard line. That's where Nettleton will take over their own 47-yard line. They'll take over 1st and 10. Now, Indy, I know last year you were my tag team partner all year long, and the Raiders were 10-0, a historically good season. Have you been able to watch many of the broadcasts so far this year?
Yeah, y'all do an outstanding job on YouTube. I sit at home, or sometimes I'll be at one of the other games that we cover, and I'll watch the live stream on YouTube, and y'all do a phenomenal job broadcasting.
Got a good crew for sure. They give to a new running back who is in for the Raiders. That is Nate Ellis, and Nate gets the ball to the 50-yard line before he's brought down. It's going to be a gain of 3, 2nd down and 7.
This is a great opportunity to see where your depth is here at Nettleton, to kind of check out your running back stable, check out some of your wide receivers and some of your other offensive linemen, because you may need those number 2s and number 3s as your season goes on. So this is a great opportunity for Coach Hampton to be able to try out some other players.
Got some of the reserves in as Nettleton up 35-0. They give the ball once again to number 29, and Ellis is across the 25. Boy, battling. What a heck of a run there by Nate Ellis. Big-time gain, 1st down Raiders. Like the way he run the ball.
You know, it's always interesting to see what happens when a substitute or a 2nd or a 3rd string comes in the game. Do they run tentatively, or do they run like they're on a mission? And Nate certainly running downhill with shoulder pads low. Not doing a lot of dancing in the hole, and outstanding job. He looks strong there.
He sure does. Nate Ellis. He is a junior, listed as a defensive back.
Yeah, that's a new name that I didn't hear last year.
Yeah, he's fighting for some playing time right here and definitely making a good accounting for himself. Fred Adkins out on the field as well. He spread out far to the right with Braylon King. Mad Dog gives it to Ellis once again. Good cut, plants his foot, drives forward, still on his feet. Finally wrestled down at about the 20-yard line. That's going to be a gain of about 8 and a 1st down for the Raiders.
Boy, he comes popping out of there, too.
Sure does.
He looks salty now. I think he's excited to be in the football game.
Like he got shot out of a cannon.
And in your homecoming, and look at the crowd here tonight. This is unbelievable. It makes me proud to be a Raider. You know, you talked about class of '94, and there's a lot of people. I saw a lot of some faces here tonight I've seen in a long time. So this is a really, really cool night. Beautiful weather, beautiful field. The Raiders are winning. Lots of great things happening tonight.
No doubt about it. And the Raiders up 35-0 here in the 3rd quarter. A turbo clock game. They give to Ellis once again, running to the right side, and he is brought down after a gain of a couple. It's going to be 2nd down and 8 for the Raiders. Beautiful homecoming night. A lot of reunions going on, as they always do at homecoming. The great class of 1982 who joined us on the halftime show brought to you by Kavanaugh Auto Group. We had the class of 87 down there in the South Pavilion. Had a good visit with them before the game. A lot of those guys stuffed me in lockers whenever I was in high school.
You probably fit back then.
Second down and 8. They were a couple years older than me and quite a bit bigger. So second down and 8 for the Raiders. The Mad Dog, Maddox Sampson, gives to Ash. He's passing and is incomplete. Intended for number 17, Caleb Tedder. Incomplete. Third down and 8. What do you think about Maddox Hampton as a quarterback?
You know, I like the way he stands in the pocket. I like his confidence level. You know, he's got to be a student of the game, because you know that they probably go home and talk football. They just got to. I mean, mom and dad both have got to talk football. So you know, the academic level of football's got to be there. He certainly had the moxie you're looking for. He just doesn't have the experience at the high school level, and as he gets more and more experienced, learning how to read offenses early, he's going to be very, very, very successful.
Gives to Ellis. Ellis running left side across the 15-yard line is going to be short of the first down by a couple of yards. We'll say 3 yards, 3 to 4 yards. It's going to be fourth down and 4 for the Raiders.
You know, I stood down there on the sideline for the first half, and I got an opportunity to talk to Maddox, and you know, him and I know each other, and we've communicated on a few things, and he kind of come over here on a couple of different deals, and he was like, hey, what'd you think there? And I was like, well, let's talk about your pre-snap read. Let's talk about what you're looking at, you know. And I like where his brain is. He's constantly wanting to learn. And I'm going to tell you, you get a sophomore with that talent, and then this number of years that are going to be in front of him, he's going to get better and better and better every time he plays.
Fourth down and 4, and the Raiders are going for it as they are deep in Paragould territory. The play is whistled dead. Going to be a dead ball foul. It's a false start against the Raiders. It's going to go from 4th and 4 to 4th and 9. That is the end of the third quarter. Raiders up 35-0. Tell you what, we'll take a 30-second break, and when we come back, we will have the fourth quarter with Andy Shatley. Hopefully you can hang around a little while longer, can't you, brother?
It's up to you. It's up to you and your team. I certainly don't want to take any airtime away from anybody.
We'll give Jacob Linderman a break. We appreciate Jacob. He's done a great job calling color for us all year long. But I think he's enjoying the break here on homecoming night. We'll talk with Andy Shatley some more after a 30-second break. Raiders up 35-0. Fourth quarter coming up. Raider football on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network.
Follow me on a new healthcare journey full of possibilities. Experience world-class care delivered by friends, family, and neighbors right here in your community, bringing industry-leading technology to you, not the other way around. Your health record, your appointment scheduling, and your medications all in one place, and your lab results delivered the instant they're recorded. Do we look at healthcare differently? Absolutely. Experience the difference, and you will too. NEA Baptist, healthcare for the next century.
Raider football on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network. Craig Miller joined by my old tag team partner, Andy Shatley. The Raiders up 35-0 as the fourth quarter is getting started here in this turbo clock game. And Andy, one thing I appreciate about you, you mentioned this earlier, is the way that you give back. You were, of course, an outstanding quarterback for the Raiders, 93 is your senior football season, graduated in 94. But I've noticed through the years you have poured into guys like DeAndre Henry.
That's right. He's a good friend of mine now. Yeah.
Love it.
Absolutely. Cameron Scarlett, got to know him last year. And, you know, I call it a brotherhood, and I call it kind of a fraternity of quarterbacks. And it's not just a quarterback position, but, you know, we kind of stick together, us Raiders.
Fourth down and 9. Mad Dog under pressure throws it away, and it's going to be a turnover on downs. And you talk about moxie, even though he threw the ball away, well, an incomplete pass is better than a sack.
Well, those are some of those learning curves that I'm talking about. You know, you can watch it on TV all day long, and you can watch Tom Brady and Peyton Manning do this all day long. But, you know, on Friday night, when the pressure's on and you got 3 people heat-seeking missiles on you, sometimes it's hard to make those quick, good decisions. And sometimes it takes a Friday night to where you don't play so well, and you don't ever forget that, and you learn from that. And then all of a sudden you have a couple of successes, and you find that pocket, and you do that pre-snap read, and you deliver the football on time to where it's supposed to be, and you're like, there it is. And things start clicking, and you never forget that feeling.
First and 10 for the Rams is Nettleton up 35-0. The turbo clock is rolling. Carter Ballou's pass is nearly picked off. Oh, my goodness. Man, that's my man Isaac Black. He's in my second period class, and he had nothing but green in front of him. That was a pick six all day long, but I think he started maybe thinking about his touchdown celebration before he hauled it in. Incomplete pass. Missed opportunity for Isaac.
Well, he's going to want that one back. I can tell you that hit him in the wrong spot, hit him right in the hands, and he's probably going to get made fun of for that. Winning 35-0, you can kind of make fun. If the state championship's on the line, it's probably not so funny. But tonight, they're going to probably find humor in that when they watch the video Monday. I can imagine when that play comes up on Monday when they watch the film, the whole room's going to go crazy.
Yeah, Isaac will get kidded for that. But I think the point is moot. There's the penalty on the field against the Raiders. I didn't see the indication, but the Rams have it 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line. Carter Ballou back to pass and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. That's Iskender Michael. It's going to be 2nd down and 10 for the Rams.
Well, Paragould really just kind of looking for anything to build on here, positive, trying to move the football. Quarterback does a decent job of throwing the football and delivering it, just having some problems connecting with his wide receivers.
Speaking of wide receivers, what do you think about Cortez Smith, the playmaker?
Well, I forgot that he was a sophomore last year and a junior this year.
Yep.
My goodness, he's talented.
Throwing the ball, receiving the ball, running the ball. Carter Ballou passes, and it's almost intercepted. It's incomplete. Another near interception, this time by Gary Haynes. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and 10. That's going to be another one of those, Andy, that Gary Haynes wishes he could have back.
Well, I think your boy number 20 out here, he says, man, thanks, you took the heat off me on that one. Now they're going to talk about both of us.
Welcome to the club.
That's right. Well, there's a positive. Us quarterbacks, we always talk about those defensive backs when we say, hey, if you can catch it, you play wide receiver. If you can't catch, just knock it down, you play D-back. But, hey, at least they knock it down.
That's exactly
There's a positive there.
That's exactly right. It's 3rd down and 10 for the Rams. They trailed the Raiders 35-0 here in the 4th quarter. Turbo clock rolling. Pass is complete.
Great tackle.
Very good tackle out there. And that's Tyler Craig, a young man who came over from Jonesboro and has done a good job for the Raiders so far. Good open field tackle.
Very nice tackle.
Craig.
I will say one thing. If you're on defense, one of the things that you watch for early on in the season, if you're going to be a good tackling football team, because, that first initial contact, if you can't get somebody down, you're going to have some serious problems on defense. Nettleton's done a great job putting people on the ground tonight.
Paragould sends their punting unit out. Under 8 minutes to play. Turbo clock rolling. The clock will not stop except for injuries or timeouts. Low punt, and boy, it takes a good Paragould bounce. Q Thompson wisely says, get out of the way. It rolls all the way down to the 27-yard line, and that's where Nettleton's offense will take over 1st and 10. 7:30 remaining in the game, and I see a couple of flags on the field.
That's going to end up being a personal foul. It was a little extracurricular activity there by Nettleton's couple of players there at the end of that play. Really didn't have anything to do with it. I think they're probably going to go back, and Coach Hampton's going to want to have a conversation with that as far as some mental discipline is concerned.
So a personal foul against the Raiders. Let's see where it backs them up to. Raiders will take over 1st and 10. It looks like at the 25-yard line, unless they're going to obviously back it up.
Yeah, they'll have to walk this off.
And we have got a new slew of Raiders out there. Marcellus Johnson, the quarterback. And Ellis in the backfield with him. Personal foul against the Raiders. That is a 15-yard penalty, so it should be 1st and 10 from the 10. As they're walking it off, the clock continues to tick. 6:19, and the second team is in.
You know how excited those kids are? Homecoming crowd.
Pumped out there on the turf.
Maybe didn't think you were going to get to play, and you're in the ball game.
He gives to Ellis. He makes somebody miss in the backfield, and he's brought down close to the line of scrimmage. It may be a loss of a yard or so. It's going to be 2nd down and 12 for the Raiders. 2nd down and 11 for the Raiders.
And he is a junior? Nate Ellis?
Nate Ellis is a junior, yes, sir.
I think you need to remember that name.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He's a dynamic running back for sure. They give to Ellis again, running left side, cuts back toward the middle, still on his feet across the 20. Gain of about 7 that time for Ellis. It's going to be 3rd down and 3 for the Raiders.
Well, you know, anytime that you can get on the field and get on tape on plays, even if it's in the second half and a running clock, you can get evaluated by your coaching staff. And so there are no snaps that you should take off. I mean, anytime you can get on the field, you give everything you've got, make sure you're paying attention, make sure you know what to do on each play, and make sure you're prepared. This is the opportunity to prove to your coaching staff that you deserve reps later on in the season.
Marcellus Johnson gives to Nate Ellis. Nate Ellis bounces out left side. He's brought down. Good tackle out there in the flats by number 18. Garen McDaniel had kept Ellis from busting one right there. Loss of a couple. It's going to be 4th down and 6 for the Raiders, and they're sending the punt team out.
So here, I guess Maddox Hampton is going to be punting. Reminds me of a quarterback back in the day, back in the 90s, who used to play quarterback and punt.
I think I know that guy.
And the story goes, I was the starting punter and the starting quarterback for ASU for 2 games.
I remember those days, too. Big deal. A Nettleton guy starting at Arkansas State. Not the first time that's happened. Gene Bradley was, I guess, the first
I
Raider.
just saw him the other day. You know, you talking about homecoming. I don't know if Gene Bradley is here today, but, gosh, if he's in the house. We were at Lost Pizza the other day, and he came through the door, and I made eye contact, and you see the old Sam Elliott mustache, and it's like that's either one of 2 people. That's either Sam Elliott in Jonesboro, or that's the great Gene Bradley. And, when people talk about some of the greatest athletes and people to play sports at Nettleton, and I say, listen, I never got to see the guy play, but it's all I hear is about how unbelievable he was, and playing professional sports in 2 sports. So that's just a rarity in itself. And so, is there film out there of Gene Bradley playing sports here at Nettleton? You think there's film of this?
I am sure that there is. He graduated in 75. Fumble on the play. By the way, the Rams have it 1st and 10 after the punt by the Mad Dog.
That would be an interesting YouTube video, or put some sort of deal, about him and his career, because that's, he's up there with the greatest probably athlete to ever come through this school.
Well, I asked Coach Dover about the greatest quarterbacks to ever come through Nettleton, and evidently Doug Holmes has some games on film, so we're gonna have to.
Okay, I want to look at that.
Look at that. But I asked Coach Dover, the greatest
Coach
quarterbacks,
Dover,
and he listed Andy Shatley, Gene Bradley, Josh Allison, and Cameron Scarlett.
Oh, wow.
That was the Mount Rushmore that he gave me.
Josh was salty, too. He's a great quarterback and a baseball player at Nettleton. Another great athlete who's continuing his sports career coaching.
Good tackle by Danny Gary right there. It's 4th down and 3 for the Rams. Yeah, no doubt about it. And he's been the defensive coordinator at Valley View for years, and Valley View has had a very good defense under the coaching of Josh Allison. He's not coaching football anymore. He stepped back from that. Of course, he's the head baseball coach.
He's a baseball guy, yep.
And he's done a great job there. Led them
Absolutely.
to the state championship season before last, to the finals last year. Look out.
Whoa,
yeah, the June Bug was trying to help the Rams. He ran out on the field, and they're going to throw a flag on that. That's going to be offsides, and it's going to be a 5-yard penalty, which will result in a Paragould 1st down.
I don't know if that was they tried to do that on purpose, but that was quite comical there. I got a little personnel issues and substitution on the punt return team. Couldn't figure out what was going on, and now we gave a gift to Paragould here, and their offense is back on the field with 1:02 left in the game and a running clock. So we'll see if they can maybe put some points on the board here.
You could understand how that could happen whenever you got your second team punt return.
Yeah, you
out
absolutely
there.
maybe at the second. You're at the bottom of your depth chart, and you don't really know who's in the game now.
Right. Paragould will have time for a couple of more plays. And the play is whistle dead. They keep on blowing the whistle. It's going to not be, maybe one more play as the clock is at 30. It's penalties against the Raiders, offsides, less than 30 seconds. So we'll have
You know what's interesting is you still keep running the clock if it's a defensive penalty. So why don't you just jump off sides again?
Yeah. That'd be smart. Carter Ballou on the keeper, and he gains a couple of yards, and that will be the last play of the game. Nettleton is going to win this one by the score of 35-0. The turbo clock ran all the way during the second half. Andy, thank you so much for coming up and joining us, man.
Absolutely. It was a beautiful night for football. You know, I'm proud to be a Nettleton Raider. I talk about it all the time. Wherever I'm in public, you can probably hear somebody say, "Go Raiders." It's probably me or you.
That's right.
But we're very proud of our school. We're proud of the football program and what Coach Hampton has been able to do over the last 9 or 10 years here. I love the fact that our program continues to involve alumni and former players, and I try to stay connected as much as possible, as you alluded to, but a tradition of excellence in the football program and a tradition of excellence academically in all the other programs of Nettleton, I think is what's made this school continue to excel in so many different things and be relevant in Northeast Arkansas. So I'm so proud of my alma mater, and I'm happy to be here tonight at homecoming.
Happy to be with you, brother. We sure do appreciate you. We appreciate Andy. We appreciate Bryce Holmes, who's been coming up here and getting us some video footage for me. Jeff McMillan doing stats. We're going to take a 4-minute break, and then we're going to have the post-game show. We will name the JOSM Player of the Week, and we will recount the game and maybe give you some scores from around the area. We'll have a couple of guests. We'll have a heck of a time on the post-game show here on this happy homecoming. For Andy Shatley, this is Craig Miller. We'll take a 4-minute break. When we come back, we will have the post-game show on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network.
You've been told banks with branches don't have the digital capabilities you need. But why not have the best of both worlds? At First National Bank, we have all the online banking tools you could ever need. Plus, if you need something, we have real people in real places near you. Digital, with branches and real people. We know you can't be everywhere at once, but we can be anywhere you are. Check it, snap it, track it, pay it, move it, and ask it anywhere. First National Bank, putting you first, always.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Ship anything, anywhere at your #1 shipping source, Pack Mail in Jonesboro. Bring anything to Pack Mail, and they'll pack it, ship it, crate it, freight it, no matter how big, fragile, or awkwardly shaped. Since 1998, Pack Mail has been your #1 shipping source, the only authorized shipper of all the major carriers: UPS, FedEx, DHL, the Postal Service, and freight services, all in one store. At Pack Mail, you have choices. Here's Pack Mail Tim to tell us more.
Trey, we are the experts at finding solutions for even the most demanding shipping situations, and our experienced staff can help you choose the best option. So if you need to go to the post office, then FedEx, or all the way out to UPS terminal, and then get that international shipment to DHL, you can do it all in one fast, convenient, and friendly place. Pack Mail.
See, I told you, Pack Mail ships anything, anywhere, through any shipper. Pack Mail, voted the #1 printing, packaging, and shipping store in Jonesboro. Don't trust your shipping needs to just anybody. Trust Pack Mail. 361 Southwest Drive in Jonesboro. Ship anything, anywhere, today at Pack Mail.
You raised your family here, did every July 4th here, refinished the floors here twice, sized up your daughter's boyfriends here, waited in the doorway all day when your son was coming home on leave. This place has given you all you've dreamed of, and now it's giving again, in the form of a gourmet kitchen and the quietest dishwasher known to man. Realize your dream with a home equity line of credit from Simmons Bank. Dreams realized. SimmonsBank.com. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, subject to credit approval.
The home team at Jonesboro Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is proud to welcome Dr. Asa Schneickel. Dr. Schneickel's an A-State alum and is Northeast Arkansas's only joint revision surgeon, specializing in several forms of joint replacement. He joins the Jonesboro Sports and Orthopedics team with more than 40 years experience in getting you back in the game. So if you have a sports injury, just some nagging aches, or even need help with concussion management, call JOSM at 932-1820 to schedule an appointment. Jonesboro Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, excelling in our field so you can excel on yours.
It's a mix and match special now at all Jonesboro area Domino's Pizza locations. Choose any two for $5.99 each for carryout or $6.99 each for delivery. How about a medium 2-topping pizza, oven-baked sandwich, pasta in a tin, Domino's stuffed cheesy bread, salad, bread twists, marble brownies, and so much more. Switch it up for lunch or dinner for the whole gang. The mix and match special with any two for only $5.99 each for carryout or $6.99 each for delivery. Only at your Jonesboro area Domino's Pizza locations.
Elite Eye Care has a new Jonesboro location that is now open at 2100 East Highland near the Old Indian Mall. Hey, it's Brandon Baxter, and the team at Elite Eye Care is who my family trusts for their personal eye care. Elite Eye Care specializes in eye care solutions for patients of all ages, and you can be assured that your family is cared for like their own. Schedule your appointment at EliteEyeCareAndOptical.com or call 972-6040. Elite Eye Care at 2100 East Highland in Jonesboro and at 1515 West Kings Highway in Paragould. Elite Eye Care. Your vision is our focus.
A few years ago, a friend of mine was going to town to have lunch with the president of a college that he supported. He was stopped for speeding, and the trooper asked for his driver's license, and Jim said, "I don't have my driver's license. They're in my billfold at home." The trooper asked why his billfold was at home. He said, "I'm having lunch with the college president, and the last thing you want to take with you is your billfold." Best price, best service. Glenn Sane, and God bless our troops.
Farmers and Merchants Bank announces the lobby of our new branch in Jonesboro is now open. The drive-thru is an MVP center with live video tellers 7 to 7 weekdays and 9 till noon on Saturdays. So in addition to our beautiful bank on Highland, you can also visit our new branch at the corner of Southwest Drive and Parker. More MVPs, more ATMs, more me banking at Farmers and Merchants Bank, member FDIC.
We welcome you to the post-game show brought to you by More Air Conditioning. More Air Conditioning, the sponsor of the post-game show. Hey, do me a favor. Make sure you tune in to The Drive on 95.3 with Kate Carlton and Will Oswald. Every Tuesday at 5, they present the More Air Conditioning Offensive Lineman of the Week. That's right. More is rewarding the guys in the trenches all year long. It's the More Air Conditioning Offensive Lineman of the Week. Tuesdays at 5 on the Ticket Radio Network. Well, it's a happy homecoming because the Raiders have defeated the Paragould Rams by the score of 35-0, turbo clock fashion. We'll have a recap of the score. Well, first of all, I want to say congratulations to Jakayla Wilson, the maid of honor, and the homecoming queen, Jaden Turner. A couple of great Nettleton girls, and they were voted by their peers the maid of honor and the queen. So congratulations to Queen Jaden Turner and maid of honor Jakayla Wilson. Congratulations to the Raiders, who win this game 35-0. Nettleton scored in the first quarter. I started to say early in the first quarter, but it wasn't. It was kind of late in the first quarter. 3:56 remaining on the clock in the first quarter. A Maddox-Hampton pass to the playmaker, 71 yards, made the score 6-0. Joseph Newhung kicked the PAT, making it 7. And then same song, different stanza. Maddox-Hampton passes to Cortez Smith, a 38-yard touchdown pass right before the first quarter ended. The Newhung PAT made the score 14-0. Nettleton led 14-0 to end of the first quarter. The second quarter was all Nettleton. They scored 3 times, 21 points, and the first score was a 5-yard touchdown pass from the Mad Dog Maddox-Hampton to Cordarius Thompson. 6:48 remaining in the second quarter. Made the score 21-0 after the Newhung extra point. And then Nettleton scored a defensive touchdown. Jamie Morris with a 11-yard pick six with 4:45 remaining in the second quarter. That made the score 28-0. Nettleton got the ball back, and another Cordarius Thompson touchdown. The Mad Dog hitting with a 78-yard touchdown pass. And with 2:18 remaining in the second quarter, the score was 35-0 after Joseph Newhung booted the PAT. That the second quarter, the turbo clock was rolling, and neither team was able to get on the scoreboard. When the turbo clock rolls, it just gets by in a hurry, and so there was no scoring in the second half. All the scoring done in the first half, and Nettleton wins 35-0. Nettleton improves to 5-1 on the season, and Paragould drops to 1-5. Nettleton is 2-1 in conference. Paragould is 0-3. The stats for the game: Maddox Sampton had a heck of a game. He passed for 216 yards, rushed for 11, had 4 touchdown passes. Great game by the Mad Dog. The playmaker, Curtis Smith, 109 receiving yards, 2 receiving touchdowns. Cordarius Thompson scored 2 touchdowns as well, 5 yards, 83 yards total receiving. This is unofficial, and it's the best I can read my man Jeff McMillan's writing. Appreciate Jeff McMillan taking the time to come up here and keep the stats for us. So that is the stats for the Raiders, and the final score is 35-0. We will take a 4-minute break, and when we come back, we will have a couple of guests on the post-game show. We'll have Coach Stephen Hampton, and we will name the JOSM Player of the Week. We'll tell you who that is when we come back after this 4-minute break. You've tuned in to the post-game show on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network. Back in 4 minutes with Coach Hampton and the Player of the Game.
Out how to make sure bushels mean dollars together. From selecting your hybrid rice to free on-farm delivery and one-on-one consultation, I'd like to help your rice field see more profit this season. I'm Terry Gray at Delaplane Seed. Call me today at 870-249-3447 and let's talk about your best rice options. For me, rice farming isn't a profession. It's been my life for more than 30 years. And as owner of Delaplane Seed, I've been the region's Rice Tech leader for more than a decade. Every planting season, I'm in the fields right along with you, and we're figuring out how to make sure bushels mean dollars together. From selecting your hybrid rice to free on-farm delivery and one-on-one consultation, I'd like to help your rice field see more profit this season. I'm Terry Gray at Delaplane Seed. Call me today at 870-249-3447 and let's talk about your best rice options.
Tired of slow internet? Feel like you're stuck in the old days? It's time to catch up with Empower, delivered by Craighead Electric. Thanks to Empower, you don't have to wait for high-speed internet. Our new cutting-edge technology makes our services more reliable and faster than the competition. Call 870-336-0999 to check internet availability in your area. That's 870-336-0999. Empower, high-speed internet for your neck of the woods.
Have you had to pay for costly repairs to your AC unit all summer long? More Air Conditioning will give you a trade-in value or buy back a recent repair up to $1,000. Plus, we have financing available and lifetime replacement warranties on new systems. But hurry before the new government regulations take effect. Call More Air Conditioning today, a Google guaranteed company, at 870-336-2023 or visit us at moreac.com.
You deserve more, don't settle for less.
We won't be beat. Plaza Tire Service is the low price leader on tires. And if you do manage to find a lower price on a comparable tire, we'll match it with our low price pledge. Stretch your dollars with outstanding deals from Plaza Tire Service on tires for your car, van, truck, crossover, SUV, and more. Plaza Tire Service has a huge selection of tires in stock and ready to install today. Plus, get 6 months deferred interest on purchases of $149 or more with your Plaza Tire Service card. For the best deal on tires, see Plaza Tire Service.
When you bank at First Security, you're choosing better for yourself and fellow Arkansans. Better service from friendly professionals who really invest in your goals. Better solutions with convenient tools and smart resources. And better support for the things that matter to you, as well as the communities that matter to us all. Because finding your better at First Security makes Arkansas better too. First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Don't let your credit stop you from getting your next vehicle. Drive your deal to the max at a dealer financing you. Automax of Jonesboro. Hi folks, Craig Stone here. If you need to upgrade your ride, don't worry about your past. Come to Automax. At Automax, we have financing to fit your budget with affordable monthly payments and low down payments. Give us a call at 870-934-9200 or speed up your approval by applying online at automaxjonesboro.com. And hey, we buy cars too, even if you don't buy ours. So if you're looking to buy new, give us a chance to buy yours and ensure you get the most out of your trade-in. Automax, financing you.
Now you can enjoy the great taste of Japan in downtown Jonesboro. Bamboo Japanese Cuisine has all your favorites from steak and chicken to seafood and sushi. Bamboo also has house poke bowls, or you can build your own bowl. Bamboo Japanese Cuisine with hibachi, sushi, and seafood is open Monday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and discounts are available for students. So stop by and dine in with us, or log on to BambooJapaneseCuisine.com and like them on Facebook. Bamboo Japanese Cuisine on the corner of Main and Huntington in downtown Jonesboro.
A-State football and the Social Jonesboro are the perfect winning combination for game day. The Social has an amazing, delicious, fantastic, and tasty menu that goes perfect for pre or post game. Plus, the official Red Wolves away game watch party takes place at the Social. What we're saying is, it does not get any better than the Social on Red Wolves game day. The name says it all. Get social at the Social and get ready to howl with fellow A-State Red Wolves fans on every game day. The Social at Greensboro Village in Jonesboro.
Demo's Smokehouse Barbecue on Johnson at Hilltop and on Main Street across from Jonesboro High School. Now, I'm from Memphis and I know barbecue, but there are people from Memphis that travel to Jonesboro to sample, taste Demo's Barbecue. No kidding. They come from Memphis, so no need to go anywhere else. Right here, the best barbecue is at Demo's. Any the at all at Demo's Smokehouse Barbecue.
For a written lifetime warranty and on-site rental car arrangements. Stop by or give us a call.
Your local experts. Shop Tucker's Appliance today and save.
Tucker's Appliance.
Pico Food says good luck to all the players, coaches, cheerleaders, and marching bands taking the field tonight. Under the lights, it's not about who's in your path, it's about who's in your huddle. And Pico Foods is a proud teammate and supporter of
that have made our communities better. We can all agree that a lot has changed in 25 years, but our promise to always be a true community bank remains the same. Our roots run deep. Our commitment to you runs deeper. We're celebrating 25 years of First Community Bank, and the best is yet to come.
Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Your medical needs are personal, and the way you
whether it's basketball, whether it's baseball, whether it's wrestling, whether it's anything, the wings, the salads, the hamburgers, everything they have at Wings to Go is always flavorful and it's always ready. All that has to happen is you come down and enjoy them. Happy winging from Wings to Go.
Follow me on a new healthcare journey full of possibilities. Experience world-class care delivered. Lab results delivered the instant they're recorded. Do we look at healthcare differently? Absolutely. Experience the difference and you will too. NEA Baptist, healthcare for the next century.
You've been told banks with branches digital with branches and real people. We know you can't be everywhere at once, but we can be anywhere you are. Check it, snap it, track it, pay it, move it, and ask it anywhere. First National Bank, putting you first, always.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Get huge savings now at every Kavanaugh dealership. Kavanaugh has a great selection of late model, low mileage, certified pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. And most are still under factory warranty. We have every make, every model, so you're sure to find the vehicle you want. And when you buy at Kavanaugh, every new and used purchase comes with 1 year free maintenance. Plus,
we are no longer on the radio, but we are live on the YouTube, and that's how we're going to conclude this broadcast. We're joined in the broadcast booth by Coach Stephen Hampton, whose Raiders moved to 5-1 on the season. And Coach Hampton, with everything that goes on in homecoming, it's awfully good to get a win at the end of the week.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of activities that go on throughout the week, a lot of distractions. And we want our kids to enjoy all that and have fun. But at the same time, there's a ball game that has to be played, and it's a big one. It counts as same as the rest, and we needed it tonight, and our kids came out, and we did what we had to do to get the victory.
It was the usual cast of characters, the usual suspects who were making plays for you. Maddox Hampton with 4 touchdown passes, 2 of them to Curtis Smith, 2 of them to Cordarius Thompson. That's something that we've said over and over and over this year.
Yeah. And those guys are playmakers, and they made plays tonight. We had some plans to try to get some other guys involved. Just the situations weren't right, or it just didn't happen. But we'll keep leaning on those guys and trying to find different ways to get them the ball, and try to clean some things up. Obviously the penalties and stuff. We'll go back and look and see exactly what was happening on some of those. But overall, I'm pleased with how we performed, and I thought defense did outstanding. Really shut those guys down. Other than I think the reverse, we gave up contain there. But other than that, that was really the only play they had all night.
Yeah, very impressed with the defense as they pitch a shutout. And you're right, you take away that reverse, I bet they didn't have 20 yards of total offense.
Yeah, and I'm pleased we came out with the shutout. I know that's a big deal for those guys, on that side of the ball, taking great pride and not giving up points. And even when we subbed second half, third, fourth quarter, those guys, were able to hold on to the shutout.
Love it. Coach Hampton, enjoy the rest of the night. I know your weekend goes a whole lot better after a Raider victory.
Yeah, it's a lot smoother. But we'll enjoy this one, and we'll look to move on to the next one on Sunday and try to find a way to get another one.
I love it. And we play Southside next week.
We play Southside, yes. At Southside, so be back on the road. They're a good ball club. We saw them this summer at team camp. Run a kind of a different style of offense that we'll have to get prepared for, and but our guys we'll be ready, and we'll put together a good plan and go to Southside and get another W.
I love it. And Coach Hampton is going to be hosting a homecoming after party tonight.
You bet. Cooking breakfast food, bacon, eggs, biscuits, and the whole works. So
Love it, man. We're very, very blessed to have you here at Nettleton, not only coaching the team, but hosting the after parties for homecoming.
You bet. Let's have a little fun and enjoy it. And like I said, we'll move on Sunday. We'll start looking at Southside and getting ready for those guys.
Love it, Coach. Thank you for your time, man. Enjoy your weekend. And let's bring in the JOSM Player of the Week. The JOSM Player of the Week is brought to you by Jonesboro Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. They've been getting you back in the game for more than 40 years. And the JOSM Player of the Week this week is the Mad Dog, Maddox Hampton. Had a big night. Congratulations, Maddox. You are the Player of the Week.
Thank you.
And, of course, you could have been the Player of the Week numerous times this year, but we figured as young as Maddox is, he's going to have many opportunities. But tonight you definitely earned the honor. 4 touchdown passes, 216 yards passing, 11 yards rushing. I like the way you running the ball out there. That's something that we've seen from you from time to time. You can do more than just throw the ball.
Oh, yeah.
And people might not realize this, but the Mad Dog actually has joined me in the broadcast booth as the color guy. Do you remember that?
I do. Last year against Paragould, or 2 years ago.
Against Gosnell, I think.
Yes, sir.
I believe that's where it was. Coach Massey had a kidney stone, which I'm smiling when I say that. That's like the worst thing that can happen to a person. He had a kidney stone, couldn't go, and I was like, I don't have a color guy. Maddox was there in the pregame meal. Maddox, will you be my color guy? He said, yes, sir, and we called that game together. So you've gone from the broadcast booth to starring on the field. And, Maddox, let me tell you something. I'm very proud of you, the way that you've played quarterback this year. With tonight's numbers, 216 yards passing tonight, you've got over 1,200 yards passing on the year. You're having a heck of a season.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. And hopefully we can keep it going on into the playoffs.
Exactly right, bro. And you're going to get that opportunity next week at Batesville Southside, I should say. They don't like it when you say Batesville Southside, but at Southside, and the Raiders have a chance to move to 6-1. Talk about some of your teammates, because I know without you couldn't do it all on your own. Who's some guys you want to give credit to?
I love Curtis Smith and Cordarius Thompson. Those are my guys. And the Pope. There's some studs, and they make it easy and make me look real good.
And that's a good thing for sure. I noticed one of the cars in the homecoming parade today was full of offensive linemen, and it said Quarterback Protection Agency.
Excuse me, I forgot to mention the O-line, but those are my guys up there too. They make it all possible. It starts with them.
That's right. And, you know, we talk about Cortez, Cordarius, Braylon, the Mad Dog, Tedder, who actually is part of the offensive line. But the guys who get their name in the paper all the time, they wouldn't be able to do anything without those guys in the trenches.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
we definitely appreciate them.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. 2 touchdown passes in the first quarter, both of them to the playmaker, Curtis Smith. 2 in the second quarter, both of them to Cordarius Thompson. And like you said, all year long, those guys have got to be pretty fun to throw to.
Oh, yeah. I love it, and I wouldn't trade them for anyone else in the world.
Love it, man. Love it. Mad Dog, I've enjoyed watching you grow up, and I'm so thrilled that you're out there getting the job done for the Raiders and as quarterback. Been a whole lot of fun to see you this season. Looking forward to the rest of the way, bro.
Sir, me too.
I know you got a homecoming festivities to take part in, so you can take off for that, and we appreciate the Mad Dog. He is the JOSM Player of the Week, and I'll take those headphones. Yes, sir. Thank you, Maddox. Have a good time tonight, bro. All right, that'll do it for all of us here at Nettleton Television. For Caleb Robinson, who's running the camera right now, and ran the up camera tonight and the down camera some. Caleb Andrews, who did his usual great job of the down camera action. For Jacob Linderman, who called color and grabbed the camera and went and ran the camera a little bit in the second half. For the man who's calling all the shots, running the wheels of steel, that is Cameron Holder, who was the director. For James Lowry, who is the producer back at EAB, we appreciate his good work. And for everybody who's tuned in, happy homecoming at Nettleton tonight. For all of us here at Nettleton, thank you for tuning in. Raider Pride is justified. Raider Pride forever.